So
It's
before we
fine.
start, just for those watching, because I want to make sure we do this. A bit of a content warning. This is an emotional game. It will possibly, potentially feature a long list: death, violence, grievous injury to player characters and non-player characters, stress, anxiety, tugging at emotional heartstrings, using emotions as a sort of weapon, guns, and strong language. The first thing we all discussed in our session zero was tone. We all agreed this is the kind of the tone we wanted to go with, something a little more mature, a little more adult. Lines and veils are in play. The X card, as always, is in play. And with that, Taylor, we can roll right into it. Let's have a bit of a recap of last session, shall we? 10 years ago, in college, we all played together in a long tabletop fantasy campaign. It was kind of a group exercise of sorts, as we were all part of an improv group, and tabletop is a wonderful way of expanding those improv skills. We never finished our final session, an outcome without a resolution. It's now 10 years later. I decided to get in touch with everyone and suggest a reunion of sorts, but also wanted to see if everyone would be up for one more session in our campaign setting, however, with a different game system, one I randomly found amongst my partner Zoe's belongings, something I never even knew she owned. All of us were given a Paragon role I picked. We have Mikey the Neo, or I gave Mikey the Neo, gave Polly the Godbinder, Kevin the Emotion Knight, Eden the Dictator, and myself the Master. We all have a specific die associated with our Paragon roll, which for me, D20. Everyone else has their own specific ones that they have that they can show if they like. Little did we know that would become far more than just a roll. We all did a little ritual as described in the book. Pick up your dice, close your eyes, and on the count of 3, release it. Somehow, that little ritual took us away from our video call and brought us physically together into the same space, one that wasn't familiar. As we tried to come to terms with our new situation, I pointed out that all 5 of our dice were floating at eye level, spinning counterclockwise and slightly glowing. One by one, we grabbed them and transformed, like a magical girl sort of transformation a la Sailor Moon, into our paragons, literally and physically. We now have Mara, the dictator, who has golden antlers on top of her head and whose voice is a deadly weapon. Camille, the Godbinder, who has a godly pact with Proserpina, the god of the underworld, who she can communicate with. Yang, the Anticipation Knight, who has a jolly, excitable hammer, wonderfully named Ham, that can talk. It has eyes!
Yeah.
So good.
Oh my god, that makes me so happy. Ava, the Neo, who also has newly developed horns on their head and an arcade machine like coin slot embedded into their chest upon which fair gold can be utilized. And there's me, Phoenix, whose Paragon name has not been revealed yet, but physically, appearance wise, I look almost 1 for 1 like my partner Zoe, who passed away a few months ago in the real world. Shortly after these transformations and my exit from the room to check on things outside of it, as any GM would upon entering their campaign setting, you all realized you have very different but quite real powers, having used them to take out enemies known as Fallen. Eventually, you made your way out of the room and found yourself in the world of your campaign setting, Lominsa, which a world filled with bright, purple foliage and this sort of angelic, strange lighting in the sky above. You met a merchant named Arthur and their adorable yellow feathered friend, or rather chocobo, named Momo. That's my favorite thing from last session. They told you to follow the path and you'll see it, a structure that pierces the sky. They weren't exaggerating. A massive crystalline blue structure that perforates the heavens above. As you got closer, you came across a watchtower or barracks of sorts. A knight with literal rabbit like ears, despite the fact that they looked exceptionally human, told you to halt as they didn't know who you were or where you came from. When you answered with my favorite thing, Indiepolis, an actual name of a place in your campaign setting, the knight informed you no such place exists and they wouldn't let you into the city. However, things quickly changed as that knight kind of rushed past you all, taking out a sort of white, angelic looking thing that had been flying behind you. Well, it would be angelic if there wasn't sort of this black, oily substance coming out of its eyes and its mouth. Upon defeating that creature, Ava's AI goes off and informs you that was a fallen, to which all of you very much were surprised because it looked nothing like the one that you had fought in that room before entering this setting. It looked completely different. In that moment, another one was rushing towards that knight, and a literal magical fireball came out of nowhere and struck it down, to which then, entering the scene, was another rabbit-like humanoid, probably is the best way to describe it, which for Kevin and Eden was kind of surprising as it looked one for one like your friend from college, Linda, like one for one exactly how they looked in college. But their name you have not gotten yet. You've asked it last session, but you have not heard them actually give you your name. But you do know it off the top of your head because you remembered what it was because Mara asked. Their name was Mission. Now, despite the rabbit ears, more button-like nose, and Yennefer purple eyes, it still looks like your friend, but also it doesn't sound like them. They sound like their character from the game they played. They look exactly like them, a sort of cleric-type person with a very ornate staff that surprisingly has a die of sorts floating at the top, but it's not glowing or emanating any kind of light at all. And with that, we pick up where we left off in our first session, which was Mission Moon stares at your dice one by one, and as they call them talismans, she calls them talismans, she's fascinated. I don't mean to stare, but the last ones I knew who had talismans like yours were called Warriors of Light, and sadly history has not been kind to their name. Mara, hands on her hips, gives a quizzical look, asking, wait, why? As you walk along the path past the guard tower, Mission, who is confused as to why you don't know this story, says, as much as I personally look on them fondly, no one else really does. The world we live in is due to their victory. They succeeded at a cost. They succeeded, but when they look up at the sky, we are now stuck in this cataclysmic state where it's nothing but daylight. And we have those weird fallen things chasing us. It's been like this for 100 years now. And as she says that, all four of you stop moving and have an exceptionally dumbfounded expression on your face that is extremely apparent. And she takes notice of this and is perplexed. Like, I'm sorry, did I say something that offended you? I deeply apologize. And that's where we pick up.
We're getting drunk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that has to happen. But first, you did not offend us, Mission. Could you tell me a little more about what happened?
When you say her name out loud, she actually looks at you very perplexed, like, oh, you already know my name. Oh, that's interesting.
Sorry.
You're very
like,
recognizable.
I mean, technically, I'm the one who looks over the city, so that makes sense. Either way, proper introductions are always great. My name is Mission Moon. I'm literally, she points towards the city, which you're all walking towards. there's like a bit of a bridge you got to cross to get over to it, but you can't not see that structure. It literally perforates the sky above. Like you can tell it's literally piercing any sort of clouds above, and it's just wide as heck. Like it where the city is, from what outline of it you see, it literally the city is built around it. Like there is no escaping this structure. So, my name is. She looks at you, Mara, very quizzically, having said her name. My name is Mission Moon. I am kind of the lord of this city, I guess, or really, well, I guess I'm the one who everyone kind of goes to answer any questions, which is a blessing and a curse.
Oh, that's great. You're who? I mean, Mara.
Mara. And she looks at each of you one by one, kind of expecting an answer.
Camille.
Yang.
Pleasure to meet you all. Interesting you already knew my name. Huh. I've never seen you in the city before.
You said
It's been a
you
while.
know what these are. What you called them? You called them talismans?
That's when I would say you take a second when you say that, and you're obviously holding or pointing to yours, and you look again at her staff, and you specifically notice it before the others do. It's not glowing, but there's like this slowly rotating D12 at the top of her staff.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, yes, that's at least what I was told to call mine here. I mean, it doesn't really do anything for me. It's just more of a nice signifier of my role, I guess.
Your role.
When'd you get it?
Oh, yes. I serve, I'm assuming, and she points at yours, like, I'm assuming you serve some god or other, but I serve the great fire god, Vulcan. Hence, fire.
Right, of course, yes.
I will say I've seen your kind of garb before, but I don't want to presume who you serve because that's rude. That's just rude to do.
I'm still wrapping my head around it. I've only just got here, so.
Interesting. She's still walking forward and leading you all into the city during this, just so you all know. So that way you're not just standing still, because she can look at all of you and had definitely heard when you said we're getting drunk. It's like, oh, drink then. Let's go do that.
Yeah, I feel like this whole conversation will be much more palatable with something liquor. Tasty.
I mean, whatever your fancy is drink-wise, I bet we have it. And she just starts walking forward.
Nate question, I think.
Yeah.
I know we said Indianapolis earlier for where we're from. Do we know the name of this town? Did we get that?
So Indianapolis was the name of a city you asked that you might
Right,
know.
that's where we were from.
In my opinion, where you started off in is actually this city.
Okay.
But do we know the name of it?
What's the name of it?
Yes, they said the name of it. Oh, sorry, I said it very much in passing. It has the most Final Fantasy of Final Fantasy names I could come up with. Literally, it is called, based off the giant crystal structure you see in front of you, the
Oh, yeah.
Crystarium.
Yes, that's right. I wrote
The
that
what?
down. Crystarium.
Crystarium. Crystal. Oh no, I was already screwed up. Crystarium or something. You'll figure it out. I'll type it later. My brain just went, nope. Math and spelling, not happening. But no, you look at that crystal and it starts getting more and more familiar to the four of you because you're like, wait a minute, that's where we started our game at. And Mission just keeps walking forward.
Yang is gonna try to ask Mission, and like initially he's thinking of saying, of course, our beloved game master's name, but it's like each time he's just like, I didn't think you got back in touch with, and then just saying red. It's like the mouth moves for the two syllables, but red.
Yep. Nope, you say that and exactly it happens and it kind of catches you off guard. And I would say if the others hear that, it's the same thing. You just kind of look at Yang like, what name did you say?
Red.
I don't know a red, but I would imagine you could probably find them in the city. They probably are there. Actually, at that point, and
I'm
this
gonna
is where
find
I get to
them.
have I imagine. I have fun. My thing is, I have fun mechanics that I'm not going to explain. I'm just going to say things that confuse all of you.
Snap.
The GM is going to spend what they're going to call a token. Out of nowhere, you're walking on this bridge, and again, you see the city now in better view. It is like these gorgeous sort of domed structures that are encapsulating all the buildings inside of it. It's just like giant green, blue glass everywhere. And it's very much, you start looking up and down because you're looking at the sky and you're like, oh, it's probably a good way to just diffuse the lighting and make it more bearable. But like the closer you get to, the architecture kind of fits this nice Eastern European vibe where it's just old and yet familiar, if that makes sense. And the crystal is the dead center of this entire place. And the closer you get, the more you realize, oh, it looked big from a distance. It's huge up close because you can't even crane your head up far enough to look at where it is going in terms of where the sky is. It just keeps going and going and then going. Out of nowhere, though, you hear another adorable bird noise go off, just like a quack, as rushing out of the bridge is this pitch raven black feathered Coco rushing towards you. And it's one of those things where it's like it's not slowing down, and it doesn't keep slowing down until Mission walks up in front of you and holds her hand up. It's like, stop. And the bird slowly slows down.
Is this
And
like
what's
the
funny
TikTok
about
lady
it-
with the ostrich? Have y'all seen?
Yeah. Oh,
her?
I know
She,
that.
like, joke and just
What's funny about it is it's not dressed like the one you first saw, which had like all those satchels and delivery things. This one, humorously, has like a postmaster's hat on it, has a mailbag satchel on its left side, and has a bit of armor around the legs. And she just walks up to it and starts just petting it on its head. It's like, how did you get out of your pen? Like, you're not supposed to be here. And then she looks at the mailbag satchel and kind of just opens it up. And she pulls out an exceptionally crimson red envelope. And she looks at it very confused, and then looks at the four of you like, it appears you were expected in the city. And she hands the envelope to whoever decides to grab it.
Oh, I'm grabbing it. Absolutely.
I knew you would.
It says
Getting outta here.
literally in gorgeous golden calligraphy to our newly arrived guests on the envelope.
Wow. What does
Good
it
thing I was
say?
at that watchtower to make sure you got into the city. Huh. Timing is everything.
Yeah.
Almost feels
Indeed.
preordained.
Do you open it up?
Oh,
She's not paying attention to you. She is literally blocking heads
I'm
now.
kind of like
with the Coco.
everybody. Yes, so everybody is like looking. I assume I'm kind of looking for
Yeah.
permission from everybody to do so. Like,
Yes.
I'm like craning my neck, like, what does it say?
okay. And Mara opens it ever so carefully.
You pull out, you open up the envelope, pull out the letter inside. It's the most beautiful stationery you've ever seen. Whatever that means for you, whatever sort of style is coming in your head, that's exactly what it looks like. And it has golden embroidery all around it. And prominently written is the following: to all players, to go home, all players must gather together and each say the game is over. To stay, all players must gather together and each say the game continues. Once a decision is made, it is final.
Okay.
Why would we ever say game continues? Does that mean we can't go home?
Yeah. Obviously, this means we need to again, and I try to say Phoenix, but it comes out as we got to find Red. We got to find Red. Okay, we have to find Red. Yeah.
You all try to say Phoenix, and it just comes out as red.
Right. I see.
Because that is our other player.
Yeah.
As
The
you're
one who
reading that,
brought us here.
again, Mission literally is not paying attention to you, and you're just realizing when you look for a second, she's lightly brushing like the cocoa, basically. I'm gonna call it chocobo because it's easier. Just brushing it, and they're even having a moment where they adorably lock heads, and she's just like, "You are such a cute little bird." She's having this very like intimate, adorable moment. Question for you: do you turn the letter over?
Is the writing on the other side?
Yeah, is there anything else?
I'm asked. That's my question for you. Do you turn the letter over?
No. No, I don't. Absolutely not. No.
Would we see
Okay.
it from the other side? Like,
I would say, you know
Yeah.
what? Actually, touche. Whoever is the 180 opposite of where Mara's reading it, whoever wants to say who that is, I'm going to say you're the one who sees it. So whoever says yes first.
yes, let's go.
I'm like
Then
behind
you
Mara,
notice
so it wouldn't be
this
me.
after Mara reads it, and you
Very
see this,
small,
and
though.
it is written in bold red lettering. And it is so dramatic, it kind of catches you off guard because you're like, what? It says, "Those who are dead do not get a vote."
Those who are dead
does
who do
that
not get a
mean?
vote.
I just look over.
And then when you
to
say that,
Mission.
the other,
Excuse
like,
me?
I'm gonna say when you say that, Yang, Ava, and then Camille also hear you mouth that, and they're like, "Wait, what?" And you see it on the back of the envelope, back of that letter as well, the wording that Yang sees.
What is
Um,
this?
What's everybody looking
I
at?
was gonna ask if Mission maybe said, "Oh, I'll stay." Do you think they died?
Maybe.
That's why they're still here.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
Do you think they're like originally? Well,
I don't know. Has anyone like heard from them since college?
No.
No.
I mean, I moved.
From the way you've been interacting with them, they don't seem like they have any memory, if they were that person, of being that person. They just visually, though, look exactly one for one like them. And to add a little more confusion, when you guys were asking about the world as is and finding out it's been like this for 100 years, they also have claimed to say that they knew who your characters were in your campaign 100 years ago, which in turn
Wow.
means they look like they're maybe 20 and they're claiming they're older than that. Way
Mhm.
older than that.
If you stay and choose, then it's like an anime, and boom, this is your life, and this is what you know, and you don't know your old things.
But
Or maybe they like died and were brought back, but because they died, they lost all the memories and lost the ability to choose.
And are now just the person who lives here and not.
Wow.
maybe they're not dead.
This
Or
is-
maybe Red just made a character look like as
Right,
like a
see, that's
throwback
what-
to our buddy.
to try and tease us or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
'cause in the
actually
game, you're like,
what.
oh my
Yep,
god, it looks
that's
like
it.
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
As you're all having that moment, she walks up to you. It's like, is everything okay? You all look a little distressed.
just tired and thirsty.
Yep,
Mm.
pretty tired.
Just follow me. I can help make sure you get accommodations, whatever you need.
Great.
And she again looks at all of your dice very intently. And then she looks at the birds like, oh, and this, again, introductions are going to be a big thing today, I imagine, for you. This is my wonderful companion. Her name is Sabine.
Oh,
Bean.
nice to meet
Which
you.
I would say, because I remember this from when we did our session 0. Camille, one of the things you put down as your interest was Star Wars.
Yeah, of course.
100% is using that name like that, and you're just kind of taken aback, like, huh? That's not fantasy at all.
No.
Um,
A little
yeah,
bit
she's
too close to
wonderful.
home.
Yeah. Just follow me. I'll walk you all right on in. And she literally doesn't get on the bird. She just grabs a hold of, like, I don't know what the correct word is, like like if you're riding a horse, the main, I guess like the main riding thing you use to hold on to it, she just holds onto it and starts leading it towards back the city. And she's just very confused, like, how did you get out of your pen? Like, that makes no sense. I had that locked. No one would send mail like this. And she's just talking to herself as she keeps moving forward. Do you all move forward with her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, as we're moving forward, I asked very kindly if I can also pet Sabine.
She looks at you and is like, oh, please do. She loves pets. She loves people.
Okay.
Mara, as you do that, you're petting her probably with like which hand specifically? I know that sounds like a weird thing, but there's a reason.
Oh.
I used it'll be my right. I'm walking with my body to the left of them.
You're not sure where this came from. It kind of catches you off guard because you're just very confused how this could pop up without anyone noticing. You're petting Sabine because that's just a great name. It's a raven black chocobo. Like it is literally like raven black. If a raven could be that size, it would look like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in your left
Wow.
hand, you feel this like someone had put something in your left hand. And then you look down and you look at the others kind of confused and don't see that they have this. You have a letter that is in your left hand. You don't know how it got there, but it's in your left hand. And when you turn it over to look at the front, it says your eyes only.
I take it and slide it under, like inside my cloak.
Noted.
I got a little pocket
will-
in there, or 5.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I will also say I'm trying to remember, you grabbed the main red envelope. Who has it now?
I gave it to whoever wanted it.
I'll grab
So,
it because I
okay.
imagine like I
And
saw
you
the
notice that-
Because you saw that makes total
Mhm.
sense. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you notice that you decide to just check it again to see if there's anything else in there. There's like a tiny piece of paper that was not grabbed, and you just open it up, and humorously, it's listing all the different people that are in your campaign. So in other words, you have humans, you have dwarfs, you have elves. It says catfolk, or as they are labeled, Mistel. There are Goliath race. The rabbit folk are called Vies, Viis. And then there's also infernals. So Ava fits right in as an infernal. And then there's kind of an umbrella term that does not give a description. It just says Fey folk. And I will say specifically as Mara's petting the bird, Mission kind of does walk up to you. It's like, not to intrude, but actually it's a little surprising to see one of your kind in the city. And she's looking at your antlers specifically.
I don't know if it helps. I am also surprised to see myself here.
Yeah, usually we don't see people of the Fae entering our city that often, but your wisdom is highly appreciated.
I'm not like in danger, right? Like,
No, you are
Okay,
totally
great.
fine. It's
Okay.
just more, we usually don't see a lot of your kind outside of where you prefer to live. It's usually an interesting time when you come into our city. You usually have words of wisdom and insight to provide, plenty.
Oh,
And then she
yeah.
walks up. Yeah.
Mara has plenty of words of wisdom and insights.
Just very
And then
good at
she
that.
walks up to Camille specifically too. It's like, not to also presume, but I assume you serve Lady Death based off your garb and your. She points where your talisman is and the skeleton specifically.
I think so. I think I do. Yes. Yes, I do. Mhm.
If anyone asks for any sort of aid, just provide it if you don't mind. It's been a very rough patch this year with people losing loved ones and whatnot. Not to impose that, do your own thing, but if someone were to ask something, by all means, may you do as you please. Just, I recognized your insignia once I saw it.
Of course, I'm happy to help if I can, where I can.
As you get closer, for Ava, you kind of notice off in the distance the most, like, just like you can hear like mechanical work being done, like smokestacky smoke coming out of certain areas. And then also your AI goes off saying fair gold detected, and it points out exactly where in the city it is.
Oh, Edie.
And also it points out another thing, and it doesn't pinpoint where it is. It just off the corner of like your vision, because the way we talked about it, it is very much a heads up display, which I think is amusing and hilarious. There is one point where randomly blips and it says anomaly detected, and then it doesn't show where.
Hmm. I still don't think that Ava really understands if she has to talk or
yeah.
if she can think, like whatever. So I think she's just kind of whispering to herself, but talking to the AI. She's like, can we like keep it track on that anomaly? Like anytime it blips, we just like keep note of it, maybe for later.
Searching in progress. Searching.
Okay, you don't have to mute.
No, I mean, yeah, it's now like muted, but you can see like search bar literally. And then for Yang, because I should always be asking this, walking into the city, what do you think your emotional level's at with a little bit of anticipation? Because I can tell you, Ham right now is probably only talking to you, being like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting!"
Oh yeah. So I'm pumped. Like right now with like everything that's happened, especially with the letter. Like the letter initially was a little surprising, but I mean, just remembering Red and how like theatrical and how immersive everything would be, immediately Yang is back into it. Yang is pumped and Yang is focused and thinking about, okay, then we've got to have some sick quests going on next, right? Let's go. So I'd like to think that I'm anticipating what's coming next. I'm
Yes.
hopeful.
I'll say you're at a one. I'll say you're feeling it. Sounds weird saying it this way, but it's written in the book this way. I'm saying you're feeling it. So about a 1. We'll have it at 1
Great.
for now. If you decide that you want it to go up by 1, just let me know. I'm keeping track of it with a literal D8 next to me.
Awesome. Thank you.
As you all basically walk over this bridge, Mara, you're still petting their Coco. And it's at a point now where you get closer to where its face is, and it's just now like trying to brush its head up against you. Ava, your HUD is being still saying searching, but it's now muted, so it doesn't bother the heck out of you. And it does say Edie's name now at the top of it. It just says Edie present. And for the other two, your anticipation is high. You don't hear anything from your god. They are thankfully quiet at the moment. You approach the city, and as I mentioned, it's like these glass domes encompassing everywhere you look, with the buildings are all underneath them. It's probably some method of keeping the light from being too bright, or protection, who knows. That is a fun thing to think about, is what is the UV like? Who knows on that one? That's interesting. But the closer you get, it's just this gorgeous I'm gonna change a little bit, almost like Renaissance like structures for the buildings. Like it's just like, for anyone who is an artist, they would look at this and be like, oh my god, this is a time capsule, but also kind of not. It's its own fantastical thing, because these glass domes don't make any sense in real world logic. They would never be a thing in real life, but they look really pretty. And the closer you get, the more you start walking in, you start seeing more and more people, and the note that Yang found in the envelope becomes very apparent when you start noticing there are humans around, but then you also see more rabbit-like people, as mentioned. You see people who, again, it's weird because they all look sort of human, except now you're seeing people with cat ears and cat tails walking around. You see people with horns. You see no one with antlers. You are the only one, Mara, so far walking around with antlers. And anyone who sees you walk by very notingly notes that. And Mission just stops for a second, looks at all of you, says, welcome to the city. If there's anything in particular you need outside of a drink and outside of accommodations, by all means, I am ready to help you. there might be a moment where I might be asked to go help with something because, as mentioned, I'm literally the one kind of holding everything together, which is, you just see the stress on their face go, it is a lot of work. And they're like, you know what? I'm taking you all up on your drink because I could use one too. And they just start pointing off into the distance. And this is where I get to ask a question that I left us all hanging with 4 weeks ago. What's the name of the bar you all started off at in this city?
Ooh.
Oh, I got one.
Yeah.
Whoever wants it. Yeah, it's group decision. Whoever wants to go.
Okay. I was thinking that it could be it's an acronym. It's WAY, and it stands for What Ails Ya.
I love it. I love it.
I'm definitely
That's
not going to
amazing.
beat that.
That's amazing. Group decision, that good? Or WAY? What ails you?
I
She
can't
even
say
says
no.
it. No, she says
It's
it
so good.
exactly like you just said it. WAY. What ails you? And she just points to it. It's like, just follow me. I'll take you right in.
Oh, wow.
As she does that, again, like I said, there's all these different people around you, and it's now that point where it's like, as we were joking about last session, of were the dice drugged in any way, and if it is a collective trip, like, what the hell is going on? Because it's just like, this is not the real world. This looks
Just-
nothing like the real world. It feels familiar, but it looks nothing like that once you start taking into all the different people that are walking around. And what's funny is the tavern is not in like a designated like regular style tavern building, which like you go into a building, you're in a bar, it's an enclosed space. This is more, you walk through an open air marketplace, which has stalls and people buying things here and there. And she leads you up an open set of stairs that then you realize the bar is not enclosed in its own building. It's an open air bar that's like a circle in the round style bar setup. And it has the exact name that Yang gave us of WAY, What Ails Ya, right there on top of the bar. And when you walk up to it, you have a very bizarre thing happen, which is all of you look at the bartender manning the bar and you freeze for a second because it's one of those weird, like, that can't be right. And you look at the bartender and it's strange. It looks like Phoenix from college.
Okay, yeah, they just made all the NPCs look archive friends, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
But
what
this one looks like Phoenix is the
drugged,
weird thing.
I'm getting so many weird, like, nostalgic flashbacks to when we used
Yeah.
to play this game. It's super weird.
Red?
Phoenix. Because I'm not calling you.
And the funny thing is, when you say Phoenix this time, it doesn't come out as red when you say it to the bartender. So,
Okay.
and she looks at all of you like, no, that's not sure that's Phoenix. I don't believe that's the person you're looking for. But if you want a drink, they're happy to help you out. They look exactly like Phoenix though from college, which then triggers in your head like Phoenix did technically kind of work as a bartender to help pay through college. But it looks like them. It's weird. It's very
just a
weird.
dream. So my long-term memories, like playing tricks on me. It's whatever.
Hi, and then when they see you walk up, they're like, "Hi, I'm Sebastian. What can I get you guys?"
What's the strongest thing you have?
I don't care. I just need a drink immediately.
Strongest
Whatever's
thing.
on
And
tap.
Mission hears all this and starts laughing, not to make fun of you, more just like I get having days like that. And she's like, Sebastian, don't make them pay. It's on my tab. And he just looks at her like, I'm not gonna question the person who's keeping our city together. Don't worry about it. And he just pulls out, what's your Ava? I'm gonna do this one by one. Ava, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
The drink you get is colored purple.
Ooh.
How strong does it smell? Does it smell like the strongest thing here?
That's
Are
where
my
it gets
nose hairs
weird.
burning? Because that's what I need.
It's not burning. I'm gonna say, what is in Taylor's real life? What is your favorite drink of all time? I want you to think about that, and that's exactly what it smells like. And when you eventually put it up to your lips to taste, it tastes exactly like that. But you know that deep down he's like, oh, don't worry, I picked the strongest one, but it's literally feels like it's been tuned to your taste.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
And
Because
for
I'm
each
just
of you,
stuck on
one,
very like strong. I'm just like stuck on like mint julep because it's nothing but whiskey and mint. And so
oh, it's so good.
I
Ooh.
love
It
that.
tastes like a mint
I hate
julep,
those,
but
but
it's
that's awesome.
colored. Yeah, So
anything with
for
mint or lime, I'm
Ava,
in.
I love that.
it tastes like a mint julep, but it's purple.
That's so cool.
And it gets you
And then
buzzed.
one by one, when whatever your favorite color is for everyone else, it's that exact color for the drink, and it's whatever your favorite drink in real life is. It tastes exactly like that, and it makes no sense.
Nice.
Mm.
And
Mine is
Mission, weirdly
gold.
enough, is just like, I'll just have a calf, if you don't mind a calf. And it's just like he pulls out coffee for her. It's like, thank you. It's been a long fucking night.
A very different long night than ours, apparently. I'm already
Yeah.
done reaching for another.
Uh-huh.
And you get an
It's so
immediate
good.
one.
Oh my goodness.
Just check. Mara, do you look at that envelope at all?
I want to wait for a moment that my compatriots are distracted, whether they're in conversation, ordering drinks, or it has filled up. I find a way to, yes, I would like to read it, but I definitely want to keep it away from my party.
I am at some point going to lean over to Yang and try and like have a little quick quiet convo if that helps in this. Not like excluding anyone by any means, but excluding the mission. That's who I'm excluding. So whoever listens in is fine. But
I want to try and talk to
I'm-
Mission, so that works well.
Perfect. There you go. In that case, I will say you, Camille, just notice again, she's literally drinking what smells like coffee, which is just like, even in fantasy, you gotta have your caffeine.
I understand it.
and-
I
get
love
it.
And she just has this, when she takes a sip, you just see like the weight of everything pressing on them, on their shoulders. You can just feel like they're taking a sip, but it's like, like they're not getting any relief from that because it's just whatever's been going on is just always on their mind. And they also have leaned their staff up, and it's like in between you, and you can now clear as day see it is a D12. It is like a bronze encased D12, and it is not glowing, but somehow it's floating.
Right.
Wow.
Logic.
Where did you get that?
I was given that upon my, being able to do. As I mentioned, I serve the fire god that is Vulcan, and it's just part of my initiation of being able to do those duties, aid my
Right.
people. It was many years of study.
Oh, I see.
That said, I don't really hear from him, but I can tell that he's probably nearby. How else would I be able to have done a fireball, which still is always amazing to be able to do that?
Yes. Do those creatures, those things,
Yes.
attack the city?
You seem rather
often?
surprised by them.
I am. Yes, like we said, we're somewhat new here in these parts, and well, we've been traveling from a long way for a long time, and it's quite, I don't know, confronting, disturbing, scary to see such things happen, and if they happen often, well,
They have been a blight on our world since, as I mentioned, it's been 100 years of dealing with this. It's, yeah. And again, you just see all that weight pressing on them.
and those people you mentioned, the ones who saved this place at such a great cost. Who were they?
Yeah,
What were their names? What were they like?
well, I'm amazed I can still remember them seeing as it's been over 100 years, but they were very good friends. And the name she gives you, if the others hear it at all, kind of make you step back. Because she says, well, there was Polly, there was Eden, there was Kevin, and then, the tech one, whose name I'm not remembering. But I found her
Puff in the
highly amusing.
corner.
Her jokes were great. Yeah, you give her a glare.
The tech one.
Oh.
Rude.
Oh, Mikey. And I loved that because it was just a nickname, and I never actually knew if that was their real name or not, but I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It is.
Right.
What in the world?
Mm.
And like with the biggest voice crack ever, she's just like, well, they must have been very brave to have done what they did based on what you said.
No, they saved our world from a great evil, and yet, and she just again looks up, even though there's a glass dome encasing it. But this place is extremely weird way of phrasing this. Extremely well lit. I was going to say lit, but that would have sounded strange by itself. It's just this
Lit.
everywhere you look. It's just lighting is everywhere. Like it's kind of hard to even find a shadow in anywhere you look.
Is there anything we can do to help?
I mean, again, she looks at you again, your die. It's like, if anyone asks for help, by all means, do what you can. I mean, we are trying to figure out how we can fix this, but also it's been 100 years of dealing with this, and our world does not want to progress further. Those Fallen are really a problem, though. They've not gotten that close to the city in a while.
Well, my friends and I, upon coming here, we all each have our abilities, our skills, our talents, the powers, I guess, that these talismans seem to have given us. If we can lend them to helping defend the city, helping stopping whatever this onslaught of attacks are, then I think we can.
I mean, as mentioned, if you're able to help, I will gladly accept it from you and your compatriots. Especially as... and she takes a second to just formulate her words. And you can tell because you can kind of... It's one of those things where sometimes you can just see someone is thinking and those gears are kind of working in their head a bit. Or maybe that's just me. But she just gives you this extremely sincere look. It's like, again, seriously, any help is appreciated, especially as we are literally the last city of this area. There are settlements here and there, as you probably know, having walked around the world, but also it's getting more and more difficult to keep hope up.
The last frontier.
Literally the last frontier. As she says that, I will shift to Yang and Ava in a second, but as she says that, Camille, you can feel someone walk behind you and her, and then they just kind of saddle up to your right side. You don't look at them yet, but you can hear their voice. It's like, excuse me, would you like a pomegranate? And they hold their left hand out to you, and you turn right, and you're just immediately looking at Proserpina, who looks exactly like your mom. And nothing is in freeze frame this time. Like, everyone is moving around you, but you just see her, and I want you to do this because I thought about doing this, but I was like, this would not be genuine. I want you to do this. Describe what your mother looked like, let's say in her 40s. And then I will add her attire on top of that.
Yeah, certainly. So, She probably, based on the fact that she was sick her entire life, in her 40s, she would have looked 10, 20 years older than she actually was. Her face sort of lines coursing through it, wrinkles, sagging with age and effort to keep herself up and standing and moving and thinking and operating on a day-to-day basis. So, I guess, but based on, even though she sort of looked older than she was, the way that she held herself, her posture was always impeccable, regal even, stood tall. Um, so it was kind of like a contrast. The way she held herself was somebody younger than her years, but her face sort of aged, yellowing, older than its years was sort of opposite of that. And so she was always like a sort of a person of contrasts in the way that she looked. Her eyes dark, brown, sunken, her lips thin, pale, her frame sort of emaciated, thin. Yeah, that's sort of how she looked, I would say.
On top of that, I'm going to add and maybe change something slightly. I apologize, but it was something I think would be interesting.
Please.
Wrinkles are still there. She does look her age, but
Mhm.
not like in a bad way. It's more like someone who has lived a very good life and not a bad one. Her
Mm.
hair is like a platinum blonde. And what's telling about it is her attire is both maybe what you expect and maybe what you don't. Very Greek robes,
Mm.
black, purples. It has a red around her waist, like a belt. The thing, though, that maybe is a little too on the nose, but also maybe it for a second makes you smile before you realize, oh, frack, I'm talking to a god. There is, for pauldrons, she has literal skulls as pauldrons.
Mm.
And as a hairpiece on the top of her head, it's not like a hair clip, it is a skull tying her hair together. And she has a necklace that has a small skull on it. And she just smiles at you, saying, hello again. Or rather, hello for the seeing you in person.
Hello.
And as you have that moment, I'm going to let Yang and Ava have their moment, where you two probably take a second to just talk amongst yourself. And this is where Mara probably notices that Camille's not talking to anyone else. And Camille's kind of having this conversation, or at least looking at someone that you guys can't tell. But there's this look of kind of maybe shock and maybe terror on her face, and you're not sure what's going on.
I just kind of like look around everyone halfway through my second drink. Okay. I go to say Kevin, but yeah. Oh, that's. Oh, I haven't had that happen to me yet. That's weird. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
You know how like we were saying, oh my god, this is probably just like big trip, something weird, group psychosis. I don't know. I'm not a scientist brain person. I've been on a lot of different drugs in my life.
Yeah.
The one thing that's always really common with them is like just stuff doesn't look right. You know,
Right.
like fire kind of just doesn't, it looks cartoony.
Yeah.
Fire here is real.
Yeah.
That's like bad, right? That means like we're not
Yeah.
tripping.
Yeah, I think so. But it's not the worst thing, right? Because we're heroes here.
Not yet. Dead us was heroes. We're just scrubs.
Hey, but we can be heroes, and that's exciting.
Yeah. I mean,
And we have sick drinks, the perfect drinks.
that is my favorite thing about this world.
Yeah. I never thought, and Yang will lift up his, it's just like a martini glass. The liquid is just yellow, but he says I don't know how you don't see the boba in here, but there's boba in here.
Wait, do you think this happens all the time? Like if we just like drink something and think, oh, I want it to taste like a frappuccino, it will.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Okay, so Sebastian?
Yeah. Do you need a refill?
Yes. Please.
Can do. And they turn around, grab, like mix, do the. I don't know how to phrase this stuff. Mix their cocktail stuff together. I don't know how to
Do
say
the
that stuff.
thing.
My brain broke halfway. And again, it's
That
that
works.
yellow liquid. It's that yellow liquid in a martini glass. It's like, there you go. Enjoy.
Okay.
Okay. What are you thinking about?
Okay. This is wild. So,
Mhm.
I was thinking about what it would taste like if I had a chili dog in liquid form.
Okay. Does it?
It tastes like a chili dog in liquid form.
Wait. Can I try it?
It tastes like a
Sebastian.
chili dog in liquid form.
I'm gonna think margarita though.
Oh,
For the
so
already
actually,
mixed drink. Does it taste like a chili dog or what I want it to taste like?
it tastes exactly
Is
what
the
you want
flavor
it to taste
decided
like.
on the mixing or on the drinking?
Oh, in that case, it tastes like a chili dog.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Right? But I made that. I mean, he made that, but collab.
Oh, that's nice.
And when you do that, your hammer's just like, ooh, that's so exciting.
Right?
I can't drink that, but I'm very happy for you.
What else can we make? Can I make a drink that you can drink, Ham?
I wish, but also I can't.
What
Sorry.
about like a
Nope,
like
no
a like a
mouth.
polish? You know?
Ooh. And then you can, yeah, the minute she says polish, you just feel Ham's anticipation go through the roof. Like, yes, please, I want that.
Sebastian.
That sounds great. And
You have
he
polish.
doesn't say it out loud. He just says that internally to you. Because he's not, the hammer's not sure if it should speak out loud in public. Because it's now like, I'm not sure if you want me to speak out loud in a group setting.
Sebastian, I
I'm
need
speaking to
polish.
myself. It's all good.
Yeah. I need to polish my hammer.
He gives you a very strange look, and then Mission's like, you want your hammer polished, you said?
Yeah, my hammer wants to be polished.
I mean, if you want, I know exactly where to go. Wait, your hammer wants to be polished?
Yeah.
And then the hammer speaks saying, hi, yes, can I would love that. And she just stares at it like, huh, curiouser and curiouser.
This is Ham. I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce.
No, fine. I haven't seen one of those types of weapons in a very long time. If you
100 years?
want, I can go grab something. I can also take you to where the mechanics are. They could, and she points off in that area where Ava I mentioned there's like smokestacky smoke coming out. It's like they could probably take a look too and give it a nice polish. No
I'd go
offense,
with.
Sebastian, that's not your field of expertise. He's like, trust me, I just make drinks. And he starts going to all the other people around the bar.
Okay.
Which to the bar setting itself, as I mentioned, it's like a circle in the round almost situation where it's a round bar. You could go from literally loop it around. It's got nice table settings all around it, and it just looks like the most pitch perfect Central Park style park like setup. It just looks like it belongs in that setting more than anything.
Oh my gosh.
Like you can just see people sitting down having drinks. There's a couple people literally just with a drink reading a book. Some just like that. And then obviously you see other people who kind of look similar to the four of you, where they're clearly adventurers of a sort. Giant swords, hammers, daggers. Ava specifically though, you look around, no one else really has a gun of any kind, so you're not sure if that's just a weird thing for you or not, but it's not prevalent yet when you look around. And then there's Mara, who doesn't have a weapon.
Is the weapon.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah. And Mission's like, yeah, if you want, I can take you there. If you want me to go grab something for, does the hammer have a name?
Ham. Yes,
What's-
it's Ham.
She smiles when you say ham. It's like, cheeky, I like that. If you want, I can go grab it for you. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
And then she does something that catches you off guard. She doesn't walk away. She For Mara, she reaches into her pocket and you see something that immediately catches your eye that just throws you off. She pulls out a pocket watch that looks exactly like your grandfather's pocket watch, and she opens it up and she's like, give me 2 minutes. And then the thing, as I mentioned, magic is real. She teleports out of the space. She's gone. She goes on like a puff of red smoke kind of thing, and she's gone. The bartender just shouts like, please don't do that. It's unsettling every time you do that mission. And just starts going back to serving drinks.
Like, as Moon goes, or as Mission goes to leave, I start to be like, hey,
You all right there?
uh,
You got that face that you make when you're not happy about something?
I will be fine. Thank you. I'm gonna just like step outside for just a moment. I'll be back though, I promise. I'm not leaving. I don't know that
Please
I can
don't.
leave. I don't think I can, so I don't think
guess
any of
we all
us
have
can.
Pay it, right? The note?
Great.
Anyway, we'll talk about it later. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Rude. And like as I say that, I leave and I step outside. And that is when I will take the opportunity to read.
You pull the... So while you do that, I'm going to say you distinctly hear Sebastian scream, Mission, what did I just say about teleporting? And she's now back standing next to Ava and Yang. It's like, I have the polish. I also have a means to help. And she had brought all these things that you're just kind of like, how did you teleport with all this stuff? And just like puts it on the table for you to be like, yep, if your hammer needs anything, by all means.
Do you have a thing? And I like point to my little like Spidey web shooter teleporter.
Again, and that's when she looks at you very quizzically. Is like, you should go to the Mechanica Guild for sure, because I usually don't see tech outside the city like that. And that's when you start looking in the direction of her. And again, it's the fair gold symbol is just honing in on that exact spot. And once again, it still has Anomaly. Yeah, and it still has
in that
Anomaly
direction
reflected in your vision, but it's not. No, it's not showing where though. It's just question mark.
Quest marker.
Mara.
I will real quick, just for funsies. I looked at Sebastian and I'm like, wait, we're not supposed to tell it. And then I teleport back over to the table where Camille's sitting.
And Sebastian, who looks like Phoenix, again, just looks at you like, chaos. Just chaos. And just goes back to serving.
But you're used to it by now.
I'm used to it, but it still isn't unsettling every time it happens. And when you do it, Mission just laughs like really loud. It's like, okay, that was great, and I appreciate you humoring us a lot. But also he's now looking at like, but also let me see that wrist thing. And both of you just probably have a second for her to like inspect it and all that. Yeah. Mara, you take a second and you walk away. And I'm going to say you don't fully walk out the bar. Like you walk a good enough distance away. Like they're not looking at you, even look behind you. And they're all...
Totally.
Camille is in their own little world that I will get to shortly. You take the envelope out. It is a red crimson envelope that literally says in gold calligraphy, your eyes only.
I like open it.
In the same stationery as the first letter, it does not have the same thing that was said. It says, head towards the tavern. You'll recognize it immediately. It looks exactly like you remember it. Order your favorite drink. You shouldn't be charged for it. Take a seat overlooking the marketplace below. We'll chat shortly. And make sure the others don't join you.
Web table. This is a different place, yes?
The tavern they're talking about, they mean the one you were just at.
Okay.
And that's why I was saying you didn't fully leave the tavern yet.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I then as Mara reads this, as I read this, I look around. I won't say I'm flooded with familiarity, but I will say it starts to almost kind of feel like that deja vu where I know that I have been here before. I know that like as soon as I look around, I'm like, okay. And I as I turn to face the bar itself and the whole room as it is, I look for exactly where they were, and I make sure everyone is preoccupied. I'm assuming everyone is making chili dog drinks and
Yeah, and polishing my hammer.
polishing the
At this
hammer.
point, I'm gonna say, interestingly, Camille, you start walking away from the bar as well, but the opposite direction.
Ooh.
And as I see that, I'm like, okay, opportunity, opportunity. Okay. And I go exactly where they asked me to go.
When you do that, you find a nice secluded table. And just again, as I kind of mentioned very quickly, it's like Central Park vibes in terms of how this setup is. It's like a cafe out in the park. It's just
Mhm.
really, really pretty. And that's also where it's that weird sense of like, oh, this, as you said, feels familiar, and yet it's not. You find your seat. You kind of take a second to look over the railing, and you see like down into what is ostensibly the marketplace below. You see people everywhere, various different looks, appearances, people in armor, people in very flowy outfits, people in, you see every now and then normal street clothes, maybe. And it's just one of those weird, like, what the hell is going on here? And maybe you take a second when you're doing that to just look at yourself again, and you're just dressed so regally with
I am
literal golden. Yeah,
still very, but as the situation, I'm very regal, except for the fact that I have this black stuff that is run and like kind of like tinted, just because it didn't get very far, but
yeah,
it
it's
definitely
there.
there's like yeah, it's like not black, but like this blue ink, is like stained everything, and I'm just, it's just the way it's, and I don't think anything of it. I'm like, all right, I look good.
As you sit there, kind of just looking down at the marketplace, taking everything in, it's just this weird, oddly serene moment, which is bizarre because you're all still kind of having that moment of like, why are we here? Like, I don't want to be here. I want nothing to do with this. But in this moment, it's like all your worries just kind of fade away. And then out of nowhere, your vision just kind of goes black. And you kind of panic for a second until you realize someone has put their hands over your eyes, just kind of like this.
Mm.
And then you hear a very familiar voice just say, "Hey there, Paragon. You got my note, I see." And before I get into that, I want to take a 10-minute break.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
so
We'll be
much.
right back.
I knew
Right.
you would
Be right
do
back,
that.
guys.
fancy pen. Oh my god, that is a fancy pen.
I know, right?
Oh,
Oh my god,
I was-
we're back, everybody. I do
Oh,
have
that's
a
okay.
little-
Didn't know if
Hey,
we're-
I enjoy my
I was about to
fancy
show
pen.
off my
Fancy
gold
pen.
mine.
Also,
I have
I've
nothing.
like learned a beautiful thing. If anyone has the Good Notes app or can get it, it's the best thing. I have an entire journal that is just my TTRPG games. So I literally like it starts. Here's the die book cover. Then here's my character sheet. It's bright as hell. You can't see. But then it goes into character notes. See, look, there's y'all. It's so good. It's all in
Nice.
one. Then right after that, I have my old gods. Right before that, I have Orbital Blues. It's all in one place.
So
That's
good.
amazing.
Cool.
Sponsor us.
Technology is amazing.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
sponsor.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
go.
super great.
As we are now back.
Okay.
That's amazing, actually. I'm going to look into that.
I know.
Mara, you're having the most weirdly serene kind of sitting at Central Park vibes going on until your vision goes black. And then you just hear that familiar voice of, "Hey there, Paragon. Nice to see you got my note." And then I remove my hands and just kind of move to your left and just it's me. I just smile at you. May I sit? Am I allowed to sit?
Yes. I've been looking for you. Yes.
Oh, good.
You
I
look
have a-
fantastic. But also, what the fuck?
I know, like, as great as I think I look good, but also I am so confused still, and I did not mean to leave you guys like that, but I really did want to make sure everything was okay, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna
Okay.
sit for I take a seat. It's that awkward moment where silence fills up and you're just both like standing there like, fuck. Again, I can't believe you have antlers on your head.
Yeah, they don't come off. Like,
Oh no, those are very, very real. And I
Good.
even like it. Hey, I didn't write that on your character sheet. That was all you.
yeah,
am I
so
doing?
imagine to my surprise that here I am with antlers. I was like, make believe. Let's go. And now
Well, I mean, if
I'm
you remember
Mara
our-
and you're red.
and I give you an extremely quizzical look, like
Yeah.
red? Like, what do you mean?
Red. Can't say anything else. Red.
I mean how I can't wait a minute. So like how I can't say your name as is your actual name, so like Mara, and I just look at you like
Yep.
That's
Exactly
weird.
how. Mm-hmm.
my name
Exactly
is
how.
Red. And I
Mhm.
do that same thing we all did earlier, which is just like, my name is Red. Okay, that's fucking weird. I did not do that, so I don't know what's going on, but that's not me. That's weird. Also, that's strange because that's what I wrote on my character sheet, but okay, bizarre, weird.
Okay,
Uh,
so your name is weird. It's weird that your name is Red. I have antlers.
yeah,
And
you also, as you have that moment of just being like, ah, I take a moment where if your hand is out, I just grab it. It's like, look, and I look where the others are. It's like, look, the reason I gave you that note is I felt like I needed to talk to you because I don't think the others kind of know what they have, like Yang, and I say Yang, and I just like, God, that's so weird because I want to say Yang. No, it's not. Whatever.
Mara, at this
He-
point, despite her frustration, definitely cracks like this like smile of like, yeah. Like,
And
yeah.
again, it looks nothing. I look nothing like Phoenix. I look I don't look like how I did at all. Which, for Eden's sake, I leave this question to you. Did you ever see, you think, on social media photos of Phoenix's partner?
I would say absolutely in passing. I would have. In fact, despite being really thrilled to see everybody, Mara was pumped to keep up with everybody on social media. That was kind of her thing. Like the whole, it's been a minute, but I still want to be a part of your life. Even, I've said this now way too many times the last week, even if I'm a weird piece of furniture, I want to be a part of your life. So, like,
That's an amazing sentence. Oh my god. I look over where Yang is, and I get frustrated again saying, "Yeah, that's never not weird."
Yeah, it's so right. It's so weird. Ava, oh man, can't even say yep. Ava, like
They all,
I'm trying to.
they all kind of, I think they have a good grasp on what's going on, because I'm still trying to figure that out as along with the rest of you. They clearly have a good grasp though on what they have for them, and I point at like the hammer. Like, yes, it's a freaking talking hammer, but
I
also
mean, yeah,
he
talking
knows how to use it.
hammer. Also, if
Ava can teleport, which is amazing, and also I love that.
I
And
do
look
it
at
again in the
bartender.
background while y'all are talking
Yeah,
about it.
and the bartender just
and I just
screams
flipping
out loud,
off
yeah,
the
you,
bartender.
yes.
And when
Mhm.
I look at the bartender, I have this weird moment of being like, "That's very weird," and I don't want to look at that.
Mm,
That's just weird
yeah.
seeing my face.
Also, not my favorite thing that I'm experiencing here. I cannot imagine how you are feeling about that.
Yeah, I didn't write that. That's weird. And then I tried to look for Camille, and Camille, you're not in that scene, which I will get to shortly. But Mara, I look at you like, no, I think you though don't seem to understand or get though like what you have. And if you're okay with it, and as the GM, this is where I'm going to do something I don't really do in games that often, and I feel like it's a fun thing, and it's going to throw everyone off. I'm going to make it mechanical. I'm going to spend a token. Everyone but Mara, please remove your headphones.
What?
Oh.
I will give you a thumbs up.
Okay. What the what?
Mara, I grab your hand very politely. It's like, my dear, I don't think you fully get what you have. And if you're okay with it, and I stand up, I want you to follow me for a second so I can show you.
Okay.
And I delicately put a hand out to help you get up out of your seat.
Mara flushes at that as our hands touch.
And I grab your hand in a very gentle way and kind of don't let go as I lead you away from the tavern. When you take the scenery in around you, again, it's different shades of purple with the foliage. Grass, though, is green, just regular green, and it gives off Central Park vibes again. It's this weird thing where you're just like, it feels like you're in a city park, but there is a tavern there. And when you follow me, I give you this moment where I look behind you just to look at you again, and I just give you the most sincere smile imaginable, which, considering how all of you feel about Red right now, is conflicting. I lead you down a set of stairs. It's kind of like an open grass area. And what you notice is I'm leading you towards an area where you see like training dummies set up. And you can see like someone with a sword practicing sword fighting off one of them off in the distance. And this is when I look at you and I point to one of the dummies next to us. It's like, I want you to use your weapon on that.
On a dummy?
You do know how to use this thing. So I saw that whole fight. I don't know how to explain
Yeah.
it. I saw that entire first fight. I don't know how to explain how I saw that. I'm still a little weirded out by it. But you panicked thinking you didn't have a weapon when you clearly do.
Yeah.
Which is why when I say that, I grab your hand and show it to you. Like, you realize this is the weapon, right?
And and she pulls her hand and kind of like makes a fist and is like this, and it's uneasy. Her fingers are a little elongated, and they're still very much look like they've been dipped in gold. And she's like, so do I just touch it? Like,
I again give you this weird, sincere smile. It's like I gently place your hand on top of like what would be the head of the test dummy, and I just look at you and I just say, whatever pisses you off, whatever infuriates you, whatever makes you feel like you need to have a power trip, just let it out. And if you so do, because I want to make this fun, I'm going to say roll either strength or dexterity.
okay, it's gonna be
Mm.
dex 1,000%.
Yeah.
So I just rolled
Roll your number in dex. And I'm going to say add a die to it because I'm assisting you.
Okay, well that was a 4 plus 3 is 7.
So you just have a regular. So it's just remember, it's a
Oh,
four,
just a
anything that's 4 plus.
Oh.
Yep. No, D4, I'm going to say don't add the D4, just the D6s. So you got a 4 and a 3. So you got one success.
Mm-hmm. And then I rolled a 1.
No, you're good. You got one success.
Okay.
I want you to describe to me, what does magical death touch look like visually when you use it?
Okay. When I do this, I pull from the depths. Mara is a very angry person, and it doesn't take long. It is, I would say, almost instant. The moment that you said pull from whatever makes you feel powerful, she does this almost instantly. However, when this happens, it's less of an anger type of a thing. It's just a gentle tap, almost like I'm pressing. And as that happens from where I touch, it's almost as if poison had entered a vein, right? Even though we're looking at a dummy, the way that it filters just like across. And it is what I would consider not glitter, but like gold flakes is what that looks like, but it looks like it's crawling like veins across, right? Almost like a sickness.
Yep. And when you do that, you see all of that happen and you react however you choose to react. But I just look at you like, and that's what I wanted you to realize, because I don't think you realized that in the heat of the moment. As much as your voice is an amazing tool, and you can use it on pretty much anyone, you always have that weapon with you, and it is always concealable up to the point where you decide to not make it concealable. And that, my dear, is pretty darn cool.
As you finish that sentence, Mar is at this point visibly shaking, and it's the kind that you can't tell if it's the drunk on power or if it is fear.
And when I noticed that, I was not touching your hand when you used that, but I put my hand back on yours. And then I just look at you. It's like, just
She's
remember.
like she's like shaking all over, and she's like, okay.
Just remember, and as corny as this sounds, it's exactly like that line from Spider-Man: with great power comes great responsibility. Especially with emotions. They are very easy things to tug and pluck. And with that, I say I will, if you want, we'll
Yes.
go say hi to everyone because I feel like I owe everyone
You owe
explanation.
everyone,
I don't have answers.
absolutely.
I
And
don't
I
know.
will
I don't
tell
want to
you
see the
that.
bartender though. But
Ugh.
then we walk back as
Well-
you kind of take a moment to still linger looking at that dummy, and it's that golden flakiness is literally falling like snow.
Yes, exactly. As if the Midas touch was not solid.
You can put him back
I
in
guess.
now. I'll wait
What?
1 second so I can tell Beck. You can put him back in now, is what I'm saying. He's back in. You can have him on. As you see now, as Mara and Red walk towards the tavern, and as Yang and Ava are having an amusing moment of Mission kind of just laughing, as I'm going to say, Yang, you were polishing the hammer, and Ham is actually just like being stupidly funny about it, just kind of like humming a tune, like do, 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 this is
And
the
I'm
best
like-
day ever. As we do that, I'm going to cut to Camille and reverse a little bit in time. Proserpina. So go backwards in time before Eden left and all that. Or Mara left. I'm still going to get really confused with names doing that.
Sorry.
I remember better. No, you're all good. That's me. Camille, again, she's offered like pomegranate, and she looks exactly like your mom as she was in her 40s, just a little more lively. But as mentioned, like the outfit is very prominent. Like there are skulls as pauldrons. There's this tiny skull, and her hair is like a hairpin. She's got like a skull around her waist, and she's just smiling at you. And then she's like, "Oh, don't worry, they can't see me.
Okay.
Your eyes only."
Um, why are you here? I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand anything that's going on.
She straightens up. She actually takes a bite of the pomegranate. Like, these are so good. You should try one. Walk with me, if you will.
Okay.
She does not hold a hand out for you. She waits for you to lead the way, though. She backs up and just like, after you. And you know what? I'm not going to be cheeky with this. You can keep your headphones on. You follow her. You lead the way, but then she eventually kind of takes the lead. And I'm going to say, Yang and Ava, do you notice Camille just walk off?
I mean, I was gonna eventually teleport over to the table that they were at, so probably do notice she is gone. Look and keep an eye out.
Yep. And she just kind of starts walking towards the marketplace below, and it's very slow, like walking, because I would imagine Camille's probably just like, God, this is my mom, but also a god of death. And
Is
she
this towards the tech
gives
center by any means? Like making that direction? that
possibly.
I would just slowly walk and chat and drink a
Yeah,
chili
I would
dog
say if you want, you can
martini.
easily try to be stealthily following her.
Yeah, you want to go shopping?
Because I want to be amusing. Can you roll your dex?
Mine?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you use your teleporter at all
Probably not.
in being stealthy? Okay, then it's just the D6, no D10.
Oh wait, the teleporter made me stealthier?
That's up to you. I'm not going to say otherwise. I think that'd be highly amusing. This all of a sudden just like poof of pixels, and that's not stealthy at all.
Nah, I'm walking with Yang. We're walking.
And remember, if it's 4+, that's a success.
Remind me, do I do just a D6 plus then my dex stat or
It's however, whatever number in dex you have, that's how many D6s you're rolling.
oh,
And then it is anything that is it comes up a 4+ is a success.
all right, cool. Well, I have to roll 3 D6s. Let's hope we're good here.
Good.
Yeah. 11.
No, individually, what are they?
Oh, 4, 3, 3.
4, 3, 3. So you got 4, 3. You got 1 success with the 4. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
You keep pace where maybe you think about teleporting, and then you're like, I don't need a proof of pixels to give me away. So you just slowly linger forward, ever so slightly.
I'm trying to do a
Yeah.
thing. Like, do I see Mara at all? Because I think more in Ava's mind is, oh my God, we're in this weird world with things that are trying to kill us, and everybody thinks we're collectively on a drug trip. I can't leave people unattended.
People are wandering
Aw.
off.
Yeah.
You don't see Mara at the moment.
Shit. Okay. Well, then I'm keeping an eye on Camille.
And then with Yang, you're just with Ham. And then Mission's also just like, so wait, it talks? Like, is that normal? And she's just asking you questions about Ham. She's like, I've only ever seen a sentient weapon once before in my life, and that was like 100 years ago, and that was a very weird experience having to talk with one. But this one seems pleasant and nice. Oh, you're muted.
Oh yeah, if you want to talk with Ham, please be my guest.
And then she and Ham just have a back and forth where it's like, it's just this awkward conversation of someone talking to an object and it just being like, hi, yes, I'm so happy to be here. Camille, she takes a second where she stops, and where you stop is you stop in like this circular area that there's clear as day the most typical fantasy like job board, just like, oh, people looking for adventurers looking for work. And she just kind of takes a second to just stand there and look around. And she just looks at you for a second. Like, if you want, you don't actually have to call me Proserpina.
What do I call you then?
I mean, it's up to you. Proserpina's fine. I'm also okay with Persephone. And very rarely do I allow someone to call me Kore. And she does something that probably unnerves you. She, with her finger, boops your nose and just says, but you can call me Kore if you so choose.
Okay. I mean, it's easier to get my mouth around that, so if that's okay, I will.
You're very nervous. Is something wrong?
You just remind me of somebody I used to know.
I mean, anyone who sees me, they see what they want to see. I kind of change depending on who's looking at me.
Yeah.
That said, you actually see me for how I truly look. No one else does.
Right.
And she starts walking again. It's like, you know that if you need to, and I just want to make sure you understand this, as I didn't think you truly grasped it in that room you were in. If you need any favor at all, by all means, just ask. I am ready to help you as per our arrangement.
You can help me.
I can help you however you need. Like, for example, she looks down and she points, and you kind of look at your hands. And there was a moment where when you met Arthur and Momo, you're kind of maybe taking a second to warm your hands by the fire. And you've maybe subtly been noticing this, but not until she points it out, like your hands are really cold.
Yeah.
And you can't really tell why that is. And then she starts pointing at them more thoroughly. It's like, let me put it this way, my dear. I know I am the god of the underworld. I'm also, in my opinion, a god who wants to cherish life to its fullest. And she points at your hands. And you right now are very much not doing that as per our arrangement. And that is probably why. And she grabs your hands. And that's the minute she grabs your hands, that's when you start feeling very, very, very prominent warmth. It's like, I don't want you to get too cold, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Life is a very precious thing. Live it to its fullest. That said, there's nothing wrong with a little death and destruction. And she laughs, saying that in a very unnerving way.
I mean, it sounds like here there's been quite a bit of that.
Oh, and I know it's probably because of, and she leans into you. It's like, I know who you truly are, my dear, and what you and your friends have. And she points at the sky, have caused. I'm not going to say anything. That's not my place.
Yeah. I've just found out that we might have been the ones to cause this as well. And there's nothing I want more right now than to I don't know then to stop this from happening, to stop this city, this last city in this area from becoming nothing, like apparently all of the rest of them are. Like you say, we need life in order to have death, and vice versa. And if
And
I can
now you've
help.
fully grasped it. Yes. Again, call me whenever you need. I'm here to help. And she unnervingly puts her hand on your face and kind of just like cradles it for a second and like tilts your chin up. It's like, at the same time, just know I am the god of the underworld, and I am ever so ready to take you where you need to end up eventually.
Okay.
And seriously, in your right hand, she places a pomegranate. Seriously, have pomegranate, they're delicious. And then she just waves at you, and then she's gone.
Mm. Is the fruit still there?
The fruit is still there.
Hmm.
And you just
Okay.
hear in your mind, like, consider that just a fun little thing. Enjoy it.
Yeah. And she'll I don't know, I guess just stow it away amongst the mega things that she has, not many at all. And I think it is at this point where she's sort of starting to come around to the idea that we were brought here. We might as well play the game, so to speak. And she sort of then tries to retrace her steps back to the marketplace, to the tavern where she wandered from originally.
When you do that, you hear her in the back of your mind for a brief second, and it's a cheeky way of talking to you. It's like, as for the mission person, Volcan is such an ass. Don't do deals with them. She just fades away out of your mind. As you make your way back to, as you make your way back up, Ava, you just see Camille walking back up. If you so choose to see something.
We'll just walk up like, oh, hey.
Oh, hi. Sorry. I wandered off. God of Death speaking to me in my head again, I think. But
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
You visibly see a pomegranate, unless Camille's concealed it.
It's still in my hand.
Yeah.
Snack?
Yeah, I guess so. She gave it to me. I of symbolism and all that, I guess.
The god of death
Yeah.
gave you a pomegranate.
Yeah, it's like a symbol of
You know, like the thing where like Persephone? It's been a long time since I've taken a course. Ate the things, then had to stay there.
Yeah. Like the god of death, she calls herself Persephone as well, and sort of, is kind of Greek vibe and everything. I don't know if that's canonical here or I'm just sort of imagining it, but I feel like I'm going
Look,
crazy.
I've got an overlay on my view and a robot talking in my head, so I don't think any of us are really quite on the level currently.
No. No.
When you say that, Anomaly detected immediately pinpoints now to the tavern.
Shit, we gotta go.
What?
Like, I will try and
Okay.
just grab Camille's hand and run.
And when you do that,
Wait. Do I have the teleport thing where I can take someone with me? Is that what I ended up taking?
if you do, here's how you need to do that. That's not an easy thing.
Well, let's go.
But
no, I took
I
the
will
one where I
be
could go
generous for
anywhere I
this
can
one
see.
because you're not doing a very large distance jump. I will be nice. Roll all of your dexterity, add your d10.
I lied. I didn't take that one. I thought I did. I took the one where I can go anywhere I can see.
But technically, I will let you still do that as a roll to see
Okay.
if you're able to,
Okay.
because I think that's fun. But also, I need to remember something about Neos and their D10s.
I'm not expecting this at all. I'm just running.
I got a 6 on a D6 and then a 9 on my D10.
Ooh.
Okay. You actually, do you grab Camille's hand?
Yeah.
Camille, you have this weird moment where Ava grabs your hand, and then you're instantly back at the tavern. And yeah, it's literally that reaction of just like, oh.
What was that? What the fuck?
That was cool.
That was.
I
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. That was actually really cool.
Do you have
That was
Pepto,
great.
Sebastian? Is Pepto a thing here?
I have this, and he sloshes a drink down the table that you can grab. It's like, trust me, it'll help do the
Bright
stomach
pink.
good.
Ah.
Yeah, it's bright pink.
And thick.
Oh,
Yeah,
Cool.
it's bright pink. It's like a
Oh
smoothie.
God!
And actually, it
did
does the
work.
trick immediately.
Wow. That was so
Anomaly
cool.
detected. And that's when you notice Mara walking up with Red.
I say
Oh.
And the
nothing.
anomaly is red.
Yeah, I say nothing about that. I'm just like,
Hi, guys.
It's
And I have the
Red.
most nervous, anxiety-riddled face now because I'm like, I am sorry I left you. I just needed to make sure everything was okay. And I just look around the room like, I can't believe this is real.
Yeah. Do you want a drink?
where'd you go?
When you say do you want a drink? I look at the bartender and I'm like, can you order it for me? Because I can't.
Yes. Mhm.
Yes.
I
You
can't
don't
like
want to
do that.
talk to yourself and.
No,
Valid.
it's not.
So
I
good.
did not come up with that. It's so weird.
Then who did?
Wait, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
You didn't come up with
Is it
that?
because
And I
the
point over to
bartender's an
Mission.
NPC?
Actually, at Mission, I'm like, no, that I did come up with. I thought that'd be fun. Also, that's not her from real life. I didn't take her into the game.
Even though she has a D12, right?
Like me.
Yeah, that's a
like
weird
this.
thing. I don't.
And I'm like, you look and
Yeah,
like
but
it's
her,
like
and I point at
floating
Camille's and I'm like,
between
no,
my.
yours is. Yeah, I point at Camille's. I'm like, yeah, but yours is glowing. Hers isn't.
No.
She knew our like real life names.
She
Yes.
said them, and we can't. It's great. Remember that time,
Apparently,
Red?
our
Oh,
real
right.
life people were here 100 years ago, and we did something, and people hate us.
Well,
but
technically, we never finished the game, so I kind of wrote the ending.
Fanficked us. What'd you write?
Well, I kind of wrote that you succeeded, but there was everything has a cost. And then I just point up. I'm like, I was playing a game that had kind of a similar setting vibe. And I just kind of went with it.
never one for happy endings, huh?
Yeah, you couldn't have
I
had us run
mean,
off.
that
into the
always makes a more
sunset.
interesting story.
Valid.
Yeah.
Again, I look at the bartender. I'm like, I just can't keep looking at that. That's just too.
Yeah,
weird to me.
just and as you say that, if you let her, Mara grabs your chair and like turns it like like
Yeah.
a full like body situation. Your back
It's like,
is there.
thank you.
You can't see shit.
Mission is now looking at me. It's like, is this the friend you were looking for? Yeah, I
Yes.
just awkwardly
Mhm.
wave and smile. It's like, yes. It's like, oh, good. If all of you are okay for now, I still need to bring my bloody bird back to its pen. I will be back shortly.
Mission, before you leave,
Yes.
we can call on you when we need, right?
Of course. Whatever you need, I'm here to help you out.
Thank you.
And when you say that, she actually looks at you because you were petting Sabine. It's like, you know what? Yeah. And she pulls a black feather out and just hands it to you.
Okay, great.
Actually, then she pulls 3 others out, saying like, do this. Take one of these. And you'd be surprised if you hold that, say my name, I'll probably pop up. but she gives you a
Oh.
wink, and you're not sure if she's being truthful or not. And then she
I
just
don't care.
grabs her staff, and just you see a very interesting thing happen when she grabs her staff. She grabs it. It's like, I usually don't like doing this in front of people, but I need to not be like this anymore. And she spins the staff, slams it to the ground, and her outfit completely changes. She's now wearing black pants with thigh-high boots, a red shirt with suspenders on. It's like, that's so much easier for chocobo riding than actual
So
clerical
Marlene,
attire.
Dietrich.
And just starts walking away.
Absolute queen.
Okay.
Me as Red just looking like, you know what? I didn't write that, but that's hilarious. That's weird too, but also practical. That makes no sense. And then I look up at the sign for what Yang called the WAY. I'm like, oh, it's the tavern. I mean, guys, I was going to point that out to you, but you got here before I could. It's the
Mhm.
tavern.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw.
All right, great. So hey, we're all here together. So let's just like let's
Talk about
go
what's
home.
going on.
We're going home. There's nothing to talk about. We're all together. We're just gonna go home. And I look at Yang and I'm like, you have the letter. Just pull it out. Everybody says those words. We get to go home.
But don't you want to at least explore for a bit?
No, why no?
I mean,
After everything I just showed you, you don't want to at least indulge a little bit?
I mean, this is pretty cool.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We hadn't seen each other for so long. It's just a game, right?
I mean, like, is there anything really pressing real life wise that you want to go back to at the moment?
Mara looks at Ava and is like, you have to go home. Like, we can't stay. Like, oh, no. See, like, we have to go. We have to go. Like, yeah, this is super cool, but like, make believe. This isn't real. This isn't fucking real.
Feels pretty fucking real.
I pinch you on your shoulder, Mara.
Hmm.
It's like, I don't know, that feels real to me.
Okay, you
I
know
can-
what I mean. I don't mean that it's not real. Yes,
Yeah.
and I say that.
And then I awkwardly touch your antlers and then touch Ava's horns. Like, those feel real.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're weapons.
Mara,
Like-
try to
I don't
drink.
think you want to ram into someone like that, though. That doesn't seem like it'd be fun. Especially for a lady of the fae.
It's my last line of defense. Like she's like getting mad. Like she's like, please, just let's go home.
I mean, what if we just kind of look at this as like a vacation with magical powers,
Exactly.
and then
And
we just
one
take a
of
weekend.
us-
We just take a weekend. We just take a weekend. Do you know
Pull the note out.
how
Yang,
bad
Yang,
I
get that
need
note.
a
Get the
weekend?
note. Yang, get the letter.
Okay.
Get the letter.
Here's the letter.
And I like
I lean into Ava during as Mara's having this moment. It's like, I actually really, really love when she gets flustered like this. It's one of my favorite things. It never gets old.
It's scary though.
I like grab it and I'm
It
like
is scary,
looking at
but-
it. I'm like, you die. You don't have a vote.
We won't
Yeah,
You
it's
die.
not
You
dramatic.
don't leave.
Town
We
seems
just
fine.
will not die.
Who has
Leave
healing
everybody
powers?
here's-
It isn't me.
I will make sure you're as safe as can be. I'll do my best.
That's so funny coming from somebody who left us. Like, I appreciate you.
I
and
wanted to make sure
you
the world
left
was
us.
okay. I got worried, and I'm sorry. I had to take initiative on
Did you?
that.
You didn't know this would happen, I assume.
No, I did not know this would. And I point to all of us like physically would happen. I didn't think that was real.
Don't give yourself away too hard, Red.
It's so weird hearing red and not red. Damn it! And I
Yeah,
get so
see?
frustrated.
If you say the name but point it towards someone else, you can say it. I just look
So,
over
like,
some
look at
random
that,
person
look
in the
at
corner.
bartender,
Phoenix.
and she does this on purpose. Look at that bartender, Phoenix. Like,
Yeah.
And I just put my hands in my head, like, oh.
yeah, it
no, I
sucks,
don't want
doesn't
to.
it? Let's
It
fucking
really
go
does.
home. Let's go home.
I don't want to go home right now. Like, I don't know about you. Home is not great right now. Why would I want to go home? I mean, and I
moment that-
do that thing where someone's like, look at me, like, this is weird. And like, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel fucking weird because I don't feel like myself right
Yeah.
now. But at the same time, I'm not back to real life where everything is awful at the moment.
No.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like an escape from the past few months of grieving. I don't want to deal with that.
It is
the
an escape.
moment that you say that this doesn't, that I like that being back home sucks and like you want to break from feeling the way that you feel, like this like wave rushes over Mara and is like 3 days. 3 fucking days.
Okay.
And I put my hands together
Weekend.
like,
It's a
yeah,
fucking
like a weekend
weekend.
getaway.
A
It's a
nice
weekend
long weekend. like she's pissed. Like
The 3 days starts tomorrow because this wasn't a
no,
full day.
no, today.
This wasn't a full
Nope,
day.
I'm with Ava and I'm the GM and I'm going to say it starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also, I know you all have powers. I have stuff too, and it's really fucking weird. I can kind of just, and I just look around and like the bar, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to cause a scene, but this freaked me out when I did it. And I'm just like, just look at my feet, and I have all of you look at my feet. I'm floating a foot off the ground.
What?
Whoa.
Guys, I think I can fly if I want to.
That's so
I-
cool.
And then also, like, out of nowhere, I could just make fire appear in my right hand. It's like, I guess I'm our wizard.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
And I
It's
snuff
like
it out.
Vulcan, the fire god.
I don't want, as that's more, and I point at you very politely, but like, I think that's more your area. I just can do this. I don't serve anyone or work for anyone.
Oh, okay.
I guess what it said, the GM is
Say
literally
that
the
Mara's
master.
like, well, why would you want to? Like,
No,
like,
as a master,
like-
I go back to like my character sheet where I say, well, the master is labeled as a reality manipulator, and I guess that meant literally.
Hey,
Can
those,
you manipulate us back to our own
I'm
reality
just
later on?
saying.
I
then?
can't do that.
I'm just saying
tried.
Nancy and the craft also floated and it was not great. So be careful. And as soon as she finishes that line, she takes like the longest drink of her drink. She finishes it, whatever's left in it, like, and takes a big deep breath and just sits there super fucking disgruntled.
And when you say that, I look at you and say, well, I could say the same for you, dictator. Power it can be absolute. Also, that's a great movie. I haven't seen that in so long.
question since you like kind of made this world.
Yeah.
When those like
It's literally our campaign world. I swear to God. I still can't believe it. Granted, there's some things that aren't right with it.
okay, well, like those two, did everyone else see? I can't remember what people can and can't see or what's in our own heads and what's not anymore. There's a lot going on. The two people that talked to me, the robot AI looking people, man and woman-ish. They call themselves the Fair,
yeah,
I think.
they're called the Fair. That's what
Are
the
they
book said.
gods? Where I'm just trying to figure out where I
Yes,
line in this deity
Kinda,
thing.
yes. I
think
think
to be
they
a few
are. I mean,
gods.
if you so, and this is where like I pull out I didn't remember to say this, but I have my notebook with me, and again, it's weird because when I first showed my D20, it was red, and the D20 notebook now is like a fiery orange. It has changed colors, and I even look at all of you like, yeah, I was gonna point that out too. Mine changed colors. And it's weird because I don't know how it did that, but I'm going with it. And then I opened the notebook up, and it's literally like, it's funny. It doesn't look that big. It's like think like a moleskin notebook that's like maybe thick. This thing though, like I brush past pages, and it's just like they don't look like they ever have an endpoint. Like this book is like a TARDIS bigger on the. And I just stopped there, and I'm like, oh yeah, the Fair. They are apparently kind of the overall arcing gods of the realm. Like you just kind of serve them and they serve you.
They're like
I mean, and I point at your teleportation device. I mean, that's a pretty sweet gift to get. They apparently can give you other gifts too if you so choose.
They give you pomegranates.
don't eat the pomegranate.
I
look at
actually
you, and
I
specifically
actually
when
read
you
this
say
one.
that,
Don't do that. Mm-mm. You
I look at you specifically like, where'd you get the pomegranate?
you were reading it. Remember, you were reading it.
From the god of death. just a minute ago.
So much like
my
the story
gosh.
I've read. Just don't, okay? Like 4 seasons.
One, I
Remember
think
that?
you're fine. I think it's just a fruit, and I swear by that because I would not do that to you.
Other shit's happening that was
If
not
I
in your
die,
control.
I
Let's
don't get a
not
vote,
forget.
so I'd prefer not to die.
It's no, I don't think that's it. I think it's an invisible contract. Don't do it. Red.
That's when in the back. That's when Camille, you hear. I'm gonna go by Corey this time because you say you could call her that. She just whispers in your ears like, "I promise it's just a regular piece of fruit. You're safe." Trust me, if I really wanted you to join me down here, I would not give you a piece of fruit.
Yeah, that makes sense. You just hear her say that to nobody.
Yeah. You okay again? You kind of had that dead-eyed stare.
Yes. The god of
Oh.
death is in constant dialogue with
That's
me.
so
Oh
wild.
my
These days.
gosh.
Look,
Yes.
as Ava said, let's take it like a weekend trip. Let's just see what happens starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
yeah.
And if things aren't good, then yes, I will agree to go home with you.
Well, apparently.
Deal?
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
I hold my hand up like Scout.
No.
I pinky promise.
You gotta seal it.
A circle
You
of pinky
gotta
promises.
seal it.
Yeah.
Like
You know what? I want to be
my
funny. Can
my
you?
weird
No,
long
no, no.
pinkies.
I'm gonna have you do
Yes,
this,
it's
and you're not gonna like it. Mara, can you roll charisma and please add your D4?
That crap.
And the
Alright.
way this is gonna work is not the way you think. We're doing it the other way, which is you roll your D6s, and the D4 acts more like, as the book labels it, a tiny hat you can put on the dice. Where if it's not like a 4 plus, you can add it on top of a D6 to make it higher or lower.
Oh.
You're in trouble, bud. Charisma's my next best stat.
Oh yeah. So roll all your charisma and then add the D4 as like a like positive or negative to what
All
you
right,
want.
so I have a 3 charisma plus a 5 that I rolled on my d6, and no joke, I got the best hat of them all, a 4.
If you want, you could add that 4 to one of the other dies that didn't do well to make that a success. So you can have 2 successes. I leave it to you. I'll tell you what happens, but I'll leave it to you.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
You have a moment where you say all that, and you can tell you let your voice out a little bit. And it's not directed at the others. It's very much directed at Red.
Yeah.
And I just kind of feel that hit me. I'm like,
Oh God, you're gonna know. Fuck.
and I could even tell because all of us then see that black and blue ichor slightly, ever so slightly, like a tear or two. You know, and it's not all of it. It's like a tiny
just
droplet just pours from your eye and pours from your mouth. And I just look at you like, I'm proud of you, but also, how dare you? I promise I will hold this promise. And all of you see it too, that she has that slightly trickling out of her mouth and eye. Just
Are
this
you
black and
okay?
blue.
I'm fine.
You're leaking.
Oh, she's totally
Yeah.
fine.
She's like, like, nah.
And at that point, as we're all pinky swearing to one another, Mission comes back into view. Again, not dressed as they were originally, like I mentioned. They're like, am I interrupting a moment?
No, we're
No.
all good.
You have a little. And she pulls out like She pulls out like a napkin and just doesn't politely ask, just kind of dabs. It's like, here, sorry, that just doesn't. Yeah, let me clean that up for you. And she looks at Yang specifically. It's like, Tonight,
Yes.
I
Yes.
assume your friends are maybe knights. I don't want to make assumptions.
Yes.
Can we possibly call
Yeah.
upon the 5 of you? And she looks at me specifically, like, I'm not sure if you're part of this group. If any
Mhm.
situation were to arise, can we call upon you to help the city if needed?
Yes. 6 of us.
And Hammer says, yes, yes. Oh my God, yes. And with that, I'm actually going to increase your intensity to 2 now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
We're
And
anticipating
that-
things.
And at that moment, I just kind of look at all of you and like, if you want me to stay with you, I will. If not, I can easily just be
3
watching from a
days.
distance.
You're staying. Like
You know this world better than us.
Yeah.
you made
But you're
it
the ones playing
after
the game.
all.
I'm the one. You guys are the ones
Mhm.
playing. I'm the one pulling the strings.
Like
What do you mean you're the one pulling the strings?
I mean, there's still a story that you're playing through. I'm making sure things go according
you have
to
to
the GM
facilitate,
plan.
right? Like that's how that works, right?
Yeah. I mean, I hold my notebook up to you specifically. It's like, yeah.
So if we finish this story that you've written,
We can either go home or if you want to stay, we stay.
Well, guess what? We're finishing it in 3 days because we're going home.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
can't
I
stay.
see you
We
do
can't
that.
stay.
And at that point, you hear someone rush towards the group where Mission and you are standing, and it's the captain or that knight you saw at the guard tower. He just rushes towards her like, "My lord, I am so sorry to interrupt your moment. We need assistance outside the gates. One of our outposts is currently being attacked, and we don't have enough people." And I,
Where?
as Red, look at all of you like, as much as I want to vanish, I kind of want to see what happens. Can we go do
That's
this?
great.
Let's go.
Mara grabs
go.
Red's hand and is like, "You're coming with us. We're all
Good, I
going."
want to. I want to see what I could do with this. And she just looks at the phone. I'm just like, can you please help her with whatever she needs? And the knight who just looks at you all is like, yes, if you can just. Our outpost, Fort Condor, has just been hit by, I believe, Fallen. We need as many people as we can take to get them out of there right now. If you can follow me and move as quickly as possible, I would appreciate that. And as Red, I look at Ava like, "Ooh, Ava, I have an idea."
Yeah.
And I pull out that coin I didn't give you. And I'm just like, "Take this." I have a stupid idea though, if you're up for it.
Do I put this in my boobs?
Put it.
I
your
laugh
boobs,
like that when
babe.
you say it.
Coin.
Like, I mean, arcade machine, go ahead. I'm not going
Boobs
to
is
call
easier.
it what it is. When you do that too, it's like, I don't know how. As Red, I have this one where it's like, I don't know how you all, the three of you, deal. Yes, I'm still not used to that.
You will never, and they're horrible. So, welcome to the club.
Great. And as we rush out of that area and follow that night, I'm going to give you a chance to do something fun before I might want to take a second break before we jump into something, which is if you want, you see where they're pointing to off in the distance. I'm going to say if you want, you can short range teleport everyone, but it depends on how many successes you get. And I'm going to say you need to at least get 2 successes to do it. I want you
Okay.
to do that roll now, and then I would like to take a very short 5-minute break because I got to
5
go to the bathroom.
minutes. Okay.
Yeah,
Which, sorry,
sure.
Stream, TMI,
That's
no
fine.
offense.
No, I can
Sometimes
wash
you
So-
gotta
my
take care of
hands.
things.
Yeah. So Dex
You're great.
and my D10.
Dex and add your teleporter. And with the D10 specifically, so the others know, if it's an odd number, you succeed. If it's an even number, there's kind of a complication that happens
Ooh,
on the
fun.
D10.
Ooh.
But also the D10 acts as well as if it's a 4
Let's
plus,
try.
it's a success.
Oh, okay. Well, we're kind of good. As I have a 4, 5, 6 on my D6s. My D10 is a 2.
We will get back to that after our break.
All
Yeah.
right.
I just need to
We're
short
all
break,
gonna
guys.
like come back with like different heads and stuff.
I
We all got
know,
mixed
right?
up in
God
the.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
actually,
a
that's a great
Scooby-Doo
idea.
movie
We
moment.
got antlers
We
on a
switched
stomach.
horns.
Like it's fine.
Yeah.
We back.
Welcome back. I didn't even ask, I just assumed, and I need to stop doing that. Do you all follow this knight as they rush out? And
Yeah.
obviously,
I
Ava, you
do
have
because
fair gold.
Mara grabbed Red's hand. No, we're going. At least you
Yeah.
and me. Like, you're not
And this is when you
leaving.
notice that I clearly still don't have a firm grasp on my footing and walking, because I'm just like, you need to give me a moment. I'm still not used to this.
You can just
So this is
float.
when you notice again the
It's
very
just like-
prominent phoenix. This is when you also notice the very prominent phoenix tattoos on both arms, and there's a blue one and there's a red one, and it's like just as on the fucking nose as possible with fire. Ava, there's no polite way to ask that question, so I'm trying to figure out a way to make it not weird. Do you put the coin in like an arcade machine?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When you do that,
They go in
When you
between the
do that-
ladies.
when you do that,
girls.
you do that,
The
as you
gals.
said, and your AI pops up saying "Fair gold detected," and there's now a
Mhm.
number 2 on your HUD, and it still says though like time left for fair gold, 12 hours.
Does it mean I just supercharge things? Looking to Red.
You can now supercharge and overcharge your teleporter if you so wish. So, which is why I'm going to
Pinky
ask
promise,
you a fun question.
babies.
As you're rushing
Everybody
out of the
touch.
city, following this knight, which mission is rushing with you, as you see a bunch of other guards coming with you as well. She's like, everyone follow Lena, follow her immediately, follow her to the direction of where we're going. Everyone out. And you even see the adorableness that is fully armored, mounted chocobos rushing past you. And none of them make a noise, but you see them clear as day. The armor, like they all have literal battle armor on. And it's that thing of like, they look so fucking cute and badass at the same time.
Yes.
And Mission actually stops running with you and notices that hers has somehow gotten out of its pen again. And it's no longer wearing a postmaster's hat with a postmaster's bag. It's fully decked out in shining sort of silvery armor that just glistens against the black. And she just kind of doesn't even mount it like you would a horse. She just somehow takes a running jump and is already on the bird and is already running past all of you. To which now I get to ask Ava, you got a 2, a 4, 4, and a 6, right? On
2,
that die
4, 5,
roll?
6.
If you want, you see where they're all rushing to, and it's not that far away. If you want, you can attempt teleporting everyone there.
Oh, for sure.
immediately.
That's why I asked everyone to pinky promise again. Let's do our circle of pinky promises because we going, baby.
And I'm not even pinky holding because now Mara has my hand and is tugging me along. It's like, I
Yeah.
can't pinky.
It's all right. You got it,
Just-
Mara's
Get
hand.
2 hands.
We got it.
Describe in your own words, and then I'll have everyone else kind of tell what they see. How does the teleport go? Like, what does it look like visually when you do it outside of just the pixels up here and you poofed somewhere else? Like, what's your vision look like, Ava, when you teleport?
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. I think grab everybody's pinkies. There's. I give a little "I'm sorry" look to Camille again. I don't think we're gonna have Pepto. And then I think that the little readout kind of comes over my view from Edie, like noting how many people I'm trying to do it and probably the percentage of how well it's gonna go. And I'm like,
Yep, and it's like,
don't tell me the odds, like it's fully what's happening.
And then when you say that, she's like,
Camille loves that
understood.
reference.
Never tell the odds.
I'll probably learn to regret that, but that's okay. And then I think the view while you're in the teleport, like what the image, the visual kind of is, I'm gonna go with like a similar what we've been doing design wise of this very like watercolor mix match of like the images of things that we pass within the kind of smokiness and the blur of going very fast, and it's just kind of this like very cool kaleidoscope of reality, a little pixely, very glittery.
That reminds me of like a fun pixelated, God, I'm gonna get film nerdy. If you've ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, when they go through space time, that's what it's making me think of, and
Ooh.
that's
Very
an
similar
amazing
vibes.
visual. You should all try to see that on a big screen. It's great. You do that, but I now want to know for the others, what's that experience like of literally being like, you get teleported to a completely different location? And also, because you rolled a 2 and it's an even,
Mhm.
where do you all end up? Because you all don't end up next to Ava. You accidentally get dropped off at different points leading up to the location.
Oh my gosh.
And
Separated
that's the
from
point where I will
everyone.
say for Mara, because you were holding Red's hand extremely firmly, they don't teleport away. You're just
Okay,
like,
good.
nope, you ain't going anywhere.
Nope. Good.
Okay.
That was my question.
But for
Good.
the others, you all teleport, but you're not as a group together.
Ooh.
You can see the fort though in front of you, but you don't see where the others are. They all got
Okay.
displaced
Okay.
somehow.
Okay.
Great. So you said feeling and then place, right?
Yeah, so like what does it feel like to teleport? Just think about
Oh.
that.
Okay, I got something. I like to imagine that like initially, we got our pinkies together, and Yang is just excited, just pumped, and when the teleportation happens, he's just enveloped in darkness. He only sees the dark, and then I imagine that he hears like applause, and then a light turns on, and he realizes that he's on a stage, in like a little building that's on the way, and there's someone that's like walking on the stage too, and just runs into him, and he's like, and it's a feeling of suddenly like being about to deliver a stand-up set.
Yep.
But in this case, he wasn't ready for a stand-up set. In this case, he was ready to fight. He's got hands, and he's got it like cocked back, and someone just smashed into him. And I am
And when they smash into you, it's literally, as you said, it's a stage, and there are people looking at the stage, and they just start clapping, and this guy just goes, "Yes, that was supposed to happen, obviously." And they lean into you like, "Are you supposed to be here?"
no, but I'll just bow and then run
Yep.
outside.
Yeah, and you see where the fort is because it's right in your peripheral view.
Great.
For oh god, my brain is breaking right now, guys. I'm so sorry. For Ava, I'm going to actually just say for you specifically, everyone else gets displaced. You hit your mark, but then when you snap out of it, you're like, no one is around you at all.
Oh my god, I killed them all.
And when you do teleport, like somehow mission is right coming up to you. It's like, that's amazing that you were able to do that, but where are the others?
I think
Where
I
they
might
used
have
the
killed
extra-
them. Immediately sobbing.
And she, I mean,
Oh my
starts
God.
sobbing.
I shouldn't have
She
done
like
that.
stops the bird. It's like, whoa, stop, girl. And she gets off and describe to me, because you didn't do this last session, so I'm intrigued. What was your relationship with Linda in college? Were you friends? Was it just you knew them through the game when they played for a few sessions?
Probably that. I mean, because they were like soccer player, right? Like scholarship gal.
Soccer
Yeah,
team with
no,
Eden. Yep.
full different environment than I would have ever even associated with.
They uncharacteristically walk up to you and put their hands on your shoulder as you're sobbing. They're like, I understand. This is terrifying, but I need you to focus. I think they're probably fine.
Are you sure?
Breathe. Yes, I swear to you.
Okay.
Breathe. There's far more terrifying things to worry about right now, and I need you focused.
Killing 5? I'm including 5 because hey,
I mean, that sounds bad, but I swear they are probably fine and they will make their way here. But you need to follow me right now, and we need to go do this.
okay. I'm really good with the gun.
That's when. Do you have your gun visible?
Yeah, I pull it out at that moment. Let's go.
Because I didn't ask this last time. What does the gun look like? I know it's a pistol, but what does it look like?
Yeah. Look. Real life Mikey, who created this character, probably was in between working about 4 shifts that day between her 3 different jobs, and really had to quickly put together a concept based off what Phoenix had sent. So blatantly ripped off so many properties of sci-fi things. And this is fully, is it the arc pistol from Mass Effect?
Yeah.
The ones that the Sari
Balance, I
use.
think? Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks
yeah.
exactly like that. And she just looks at it and it's like, you really need to go talk to the Mechanica Guild. They would be fascinated by that.
Oh, I'm
Huh.
probably stuck
Anyways,
here because everyone's dead anyway, so I might as well. Wait, that was annoying.
And as she grabs your hands, like, I swear they are alive, and they just start rushing forward. Camille, describe. Well, actually, you've kind of described teleporting already. It's not preferable. But what do you see when you teleport this time? Because it's different than when she teleported you that moment before.
I think it's sort of a strange kind of I guess sort of like interdimension within an interdimension for her. It's like everything, instead of going dark like it did for Yang, it goes like bright, even brighter, and more, yeah, more bright than it is outside constantly here. Almost as though she's walking in a kind of completely washed out, sort of flat area of nothing. And it's as though she's kind of, it feels like she's suspended in this strange alternate dimension where there's just this constant rush of sound that goes by her constantly, and it's overwhelming, and that's where that feeling of nausea sort of stems from. And like, it's the sound of people rushing past, screaming, wailing, laughing, like all of the sounds of life and death kind of coalescing into this cacophony of everything at once. And after what feels like, a long time, minutes, maybe even hours, it's only actually been a split second. She's sort of like stumbles back to wherever she's landed away from everybody else, kind of heaving over as that insane intense noise is like suddenly sort of brought away from her, and she has to try and reorientate herself in reality between life and death again, and sort of kind of dealing physically with the aftermath of that.
Where do you end up?
I imagine actually maybe it might be like away from everybody, but sort of in the thick of where like the sort of the battle, the attack, the onslaught is taking place, or maybe even like behind it. So she's seeing it happen
Yeah.
like in front of her, like outside of the city almost.
As that happens, Proserpina appears next to you. It's like, my dear, it seems like you missed your mark. Would you like me to help you out?
Now would be an amazing time for some help, yes.
And she very unnervingly smiles at you, says, with pleasure. And the next thing you know, you're standing right next to Ava, who is rushing forward. And Ava, out of nowhere, Camille just appears.
Oh, hi.
Oh, thank God you're not dead. I thought I killed you.
No, I'm fine. That was
Which, when you say I thought I killed you, Camille hears Proserpina laugh, saying, oh, don't worry, I would know if that had killed one of you. And just starts laughing. And it's like, my dear, I won't say that's any form of debt. Consider that pro bono for now.
right. Thanks.
Just don't forget. And she points off in the distance, ready to help when you need me. And she just kind of dissolves into like nothing. And she's no longer there. Eden, what does teleporting feel like? Also, where do we end up? Because I'm not deciding that. You get to.
Okay. You know that feeling that you get when you try something new and you're like, I didn't necessarily want to do this, but when you do it, you're like, I kind of like it.
Yep.
That is the feeling that Mara gets every time she teleports. It's uneasy, but it is like a, oh, that's not so bad. I could get used to that. Like, that kind of feeling. And Red and Mara. So I'm assuming that this, and correct me if I am wrong. I'm assuming this place has a what I would consider an outer wall. Yes, that would have something that
Yeah,
would be above,
totally.
right? Where like something like archers would be or something, right? Like
Yeah, 100%.
that is where we land. But when we land, despite the feeling of, oh, this is new, I'm a little uneased, but I'm okay. When that happens, it's not graceful. I will let you choose as well, Red, but Mara falls on her face. Like it is like and it's just like dirt and everything just goes across her nice little regal looking golden face. Like she's like, like,
I'm
oh.
gonna say that happens, and somehow I land on my feet, but you see me like
Absolutely.
dry heaving and be like, "Oh, teleporting's not fun. Oh no. Oh, never again." And then I see, as you described, all that dirt. It's like, okay, I can't have that, and I just snap my fingers, and all that dirt and grime is gone. It's like
A quick
prestidigitation
question.
just happened out of nowhere.
All of my everything off of me?
You are 100% pristine, clean. It's
Good,
like,
good,
yeah,
good, good,
no,
good.
you're um. And in that
Okay.
moment, I just look up and I'm like, where is everyone? What the? And I just look at you like, I'm give you an option. We either run or I just point up to it. It's like, I can bring us up there, or I can
Uh,
find out where everyone else is.
okay. Um, when we look out, do we see everybody else on the chocobos
No, you ended up, I'm going to say, to be fun about it, you ended
all the
up
way on the
on
other
a
side?
opposite side. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So I'm just like, you know what?
We can
Just hold
if
my
yeah, can the other where we need to be, can we go?
hand. This is going to be weird.
Mm,
And
and she does it like
we literally, I'm just like, I've done this once before. It should be fine. It
you've
should
done
be
it
fine.
once before. Okay.
And we start literally, I somehow start picking us both up and we're flying. And I start trying to circumnavigate. Uh, Ava, you are on the front line with Camille. You look up and you just see fire on top of like a cliffside. And just you can hear a bit of screaming. You can hear swords clashing, which now brings up to the question of when did Fallen know how to use weapons? But you can see like there is a large amount of them just bombarding this area, and I'm going to let the two of you get to take initiative, and I'm going to say, Ava, you get first go at what you want to do. Now, here's the thing. Technically, the game does have a distancing thing, and I will put that into play a little bit. You are able to do for any, because we didn't really cover this last session. Anytime you're in combat, you can move and you can take an action. Movement is basically on the lines of you have four distances you can be at. You are either far range, medium range, close range, or melee. Melee obviously speaks for itself. Close and medium, you can use ranged weapons. Far, you can see something, and unless you have a rifle that shoots that straight, you ain't gonna hit it. Or if you want to shoot with your pistol at far, I'm gonna add a disadvantage where you remove a d6. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say right now, you're close enough that you can see these things coming towards the knights, and they're all all of them is like, it is the most video gamey type of cutscene you've ever seen in your real life happen, where all these people rush forward and there's immediately there's like combat happening all around you, but each of you just has one or two that is sort of in your way and in your path. What do you do?
Okay. Boop-a-doo.
Boopadoo is a move and an action.
There we go.
Sorry.
Okay, so
I have to
I
have
would
some humor.
assume, yeah. So using my weapon is my full action. I can't like shoot twice or anything like that.
Nope, just once, only once.
Okay. Oh, I have 2 fair gold. Let me rewrite that. I mean, I guess you said
And you
there's a
can use your
couple
teleporter in
immediately.
combat. I will allow that. So if you want to teleport shoot, I will say that can happen because you're still shooting. You're just using your equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that if there's like some that are kind of rushing towards us already, or kind of taking direction towards any of us individually, I would like to teleport behind that line and just shoot one in
Yeah.
the back of the head.
Yeah, do it.
Nice.
Roll however many decks you have, which I believe is 3 if I remember correctly,
Yes.
and add your d10. And again, if you land on an even number on the d10, something kind of goes amiss.
Beat the fill. Oh.
Uh,
I need to move some of these d6s out of here. They keep getting stuck on the ones I'm not using and getting caught. Okay,
I
let's roll.
get that.
Okay, so on my d6s, it's 2 4s and a 6, and then my d10 is
Oh.
10.
Okay. Does anything happen with your gun on a t6? Wait a minute. Give me a second. Learning things as we play. 'Cause I think something happens. Maybe.
Spin 6s for specials.
Nope. And there's nothing on the gun that I know of. So I'm just gonna say, if you want, and I'm gonna be nice with this one because you rolled a 6 and a 10, and I'm actually gonna say, because technically I know it's an even, but I'm gonna be nice to you because a 10 is always interesting. You actually described to me how you take out 2 of them.
Nice.
Ooh. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you got a 6,
think-
I'm gonna say you're able to take out 2 of them.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think, same teleport, kind of blink behind, land, look a little frazzled and be like, oh my god, should I have teleported? I just nearly killed everybody. Realize I'm okay. And I think with this, with kind of the high adrenaline, everything going on, I'll be like, Edie, can you help me out a little bit? And have her kind of do like a little like crosshairs.
He totally does like
aim.
a smart gun aiming like cyberpunk. 100%.
Yeah. And the bullet just kind of like arcs with that aim that she helps me with, and we'll drop like probably one that was going like right at who you said was with me,
Camille.
Mission.
Mission and Camille, yeah.
Okay. I'll probably just drop the one next to Camille because I feel bad for making them nauseous twice in 20 minutes.
In that moment, you see Mission full on just shoots out a bigger fireball than the one you saw last session, and it just takes out an entire crowd of them, like just like a bulldozer. Camille, what do you do?
So there's one coming
Like
at me
two,
as well.
there's like 1 or 2 in front of you, yeah.
Okay.
And again, Proserpina just kicks in like, I'm here to help whenever you need. You just keep thinking about that.
Yeah. She's gonna be like, okay, this is good. I'm gonna need your help again. And I think if this I like this idea as like a cool flavor thing. She'll take out like half the pomegranate and like in order to sort of like I guess call on that. This is probably more subconscious and instinctive than conscious. She like digs her nail under one of the seeds, pops it in her mouth, eats it. And with that, I'd like to sort of chanting to herself, please, 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 try to recreate that strange pestilent blast that came out of her just before earlier on, aiming at one of them that's sort of approaching her, whichever one is closest.
Roll your wisdom plus your d12 and also add a d6. I'm giving you advantage, which I will describe why after the roll.
Okay. Wow. Okay, it's good. So I've rolled 3 4s and a 5 on the 4d6s. The extra one was a 4 and an 11 on the d12.
Fuck, man. Okay.
Yeah.
You actually, as you're doing that, do you actually look for this time? Because the first time you did this, you didn't.
Yeah. No. She's sort of waking up to what she can do. So it's more confident and like grounded this time. Like,
When you do it,
mhm.
you hold your hands out and you notice Proserpina is now standing next to you and she's holding on to your right hand. And she's like, let's do this together. That seems like it'd be a good idea. And she holds her hand out as well. And you maybe were just like, maybe this will hit one or two of them. It's a much bigger area of effect than you anticipated. And you take out 5.
Wow.
And she just looks at you like, good job. Nice use of the pomegranate. And she just gives you a very strange, she winks at you and then she's gone. Yeah. Eden. We are Peter Pan style flying. Because I just think that's entertaining. I'm flying.
Right.
And then I look at you because I'm like, I am so sorry if this is not fun. I apologize. I'm so sorry. You're probably going to hate me so much later. I'm so
This
sorry.
actually makes some Mara nauseous. Teleportation did not. The flying is like, bleh, like.
And I immediately see where Yang is, and I immediately like there, and I politely swoop us down, and then Yang,
Perfect.
out of nowhere, we just see us fly in front of you and then drop like, hi, thank God you're alive.
Yeah.
Also, don't ask questions on that. Let's just go deal with this thing. Because
all right.
Yes, hi.
Let's go.
And Ham is just like, let's do this. And the 3 of us rush forward, and we eventually get to where everyone else is. And this is where Eden, because you have a higher dex, you get to decide what you want to do first. You see 2 of them in front of you. What would you like to do?
2 of the baddies. Okay.
Yep, and you can tell now there's a full-on like protect the keep. It's like a Helm's Deep scenario of protect the keep.
I don't know anything about these. Do I remember anything about them? Even though I've had what we would consider like an interaction with these baddies before, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
These things are not from your campaign game in college.
Right. Okay. I was just double checking. Okay.
But they still look different than the ones you fought in that white space of a room. Some of them are flying, some of them are not, and they're like white, angelic looking with black oiliness creeping out of their eyes and their mouth. And it's not like yours at all.
I was like, feels familiar. All right.
Yeah, it's not that at all. Yours is very specifically different. This is like if someone had a fountain coming out of their mouth, like it's just continuously that. It's disgusting.
Ooh.
It jokingly feels like something that would fit in Morkborg.
Good.
And
okay.
for you, because I forgot to specify this, when you use your voice, because I forgot to explain this last session, so I apologize.
Okay. No.
With the D4, when you use it as an attack, the reason I had you roll your D4 first is because that determines how intense it is. And technically, this is what I wanted to make sure you know, is if you ever have that intensity go over someone's wisdom level, it's an automatic kill. Period.
Hey.
Hence why you have the option of you can increase or decrease the intensity. So that's why last session when you rolled basically 5 successes, it was like, yep, that thing's done with. There is no coming back from that.
Okay. Since there are
And also,
2,
you have magical death touch.
I know. All right. So Mara's not a runner. But
you're like close enough to where they are, so you have range.
Okay. I know. I don't want to use my voice. I want to show off. Not necessarily show off, but I want to experience this on not a dummy. And so
Sure.
I want to move forward, and I
Yeah.
want to look at Yang and say, don't worry, you'll know when I'm in trouble. And as I move forward, I let go of Red's hand, and
Yep.
I move forward, and I get to a place in which I would consider a okay distance, right? And
Yeah.
I wait for them. I don't know how this works. Can I touch both of them?
If you do, I will say it'll be minus 1d6, but I will let you obviously roll your d4 first. Part of it's also because, yeah, I'm going to say that. So, yeah, roll your d4 in terms of your dex is your highest, so go with your dex. So it'll be 2d6. And then roll, no, what, roll the d4 with it. I'll let
With
you roll
it.
the d4. It won't act as an intensity
No,
level.
I
It's
got you.
more if you want to influence a roll to be higher than it is.
All
I
right,
will
so
allow
I
that.
got a 3, a 5, and a 1 on my one on my D4.
So if you add that 1 to the 3, you can make that 2 successes.
Ooh.
There you go. You just, I'm going to let you do this. I don't want to do it. Describe what happens to a sort of living thing when you touch them and use magical death touch.
So the two that are running at us, when they run towards us, see almost like a level of calm come over Mara, right? As if like she's probably been doing this her whole life. She has not. But it's a level of acceptance that if this doesn't work, she knows what's going to happen. And as she does this, it's a full on like 2 hands out. And as soon as they are within what I would consider touch length, because her fingers are essentially a little elongated, a little creepy. Um, she and when she touches them, think of a Midas touch, but soft. It creeps along them as if it was like a sickness. And you know how when like veins start to pop up, right? The veins aren't like blue or red or purple. They're gold. And it's not a kind of gold that you can't recognize. It is one that immediately you're like, that's gold. Like, and as that creeps across them, when that happens, they eventually it covers their whole body, and it's almost like when it happens, and I'm assuming they die.
Oh, 100%.
This happens, and it covers their whole body. At the culmination, it's like gold flakes in a breeze.
That's so cool.
Oh my god, that's bad. I just, Red looks at Yang, and just we both see that, like, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Yep.
And your hammer's just like, yep, that's, please tell me you can't do that. I don't ever want to do that.
I can't.
She like she
and the hammer
does
just is
it,
like, thank God.
and she sees it, and it all happens like in an instant. And she kind of like looks back at you guys, and it was like, I did okay, right? Like this is
Yeah.
what was
Incredible.
like.
Yeah.
And for Yang, you and Ham have 2 that are coming towards you. What would you like to do?
Oh man.
Because you have a bunch of stuff. You have stances. You can vent
True.
your abilities. You can, if you can. I messed up creative violence last session, but if you want, you can use creative violence the level you're at. You just have to roll a d8, and if you get above that number, which is a 2 right now, you succeed without any complications. If you get
Okay.
under that number, you succeed, but something happens amiss, kind of.
Yeah.
It's
All
up to you.
right.
You have a lot of options to go through, basically. So whatever you want to do, I'm all for it.
I'm on board. So I have a question. As far as like everyone is concerned right now, is there anyone that is currently threatened by a group?
Oh, right. You have threat detection too. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. You can sense that there is a knight right near you. You can see them within 10 feet, and they are getting overwhelmed with like 3 of them running towards them. And you can sense
Okay.
that this guy is anticipating the worst case scenario is about to happen to them.
Okay, so I am going to point at this knight and say, "You there! I will be your knight." And I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna use my guardian stance, and which allows me to declare one person under my protection. I'll know when they're threatened, and gain an
Yeah.
advantage when acting on it.
Got
So,
it.
with that, I'm going to dash towards this knight. And I mean, in this case, if he's being overwhelmed, I'm just gonna start whack-a-mole. We got whack-a-mole these falling all over the place. Let's go.
Roll your strength, and then I
Okay.
think you rolled D8 if I remember correctly. I might.
Yes. As
Yeah,
long
roll
as
your
I'm feeling
D8.
my
You're in
sacred
combat.
emotion.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And I'll have an advantage because they're
Yep. So add an
my
extra D6.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
It should be, I think, 4. Hopefully.
Okay. So I've got a 4, a 5, and then my D8, I've got a 7.
Nice. That's a great turn of phrase. You whack-a-mole the hell out of them.
Yeah.
And your hammer this entire time is just like woo, singing like yep, whack-a-whack-a-whack-a-mole, whack, whack, whack.
Let's go.
And this knight just looks at you like, thank you so much. That was way more than I meant to take on at once.
You're very brave. You will continue to live. And one day, you'll be as good as Ham here.
Hi. And the ham just says, hi, good job. You're doing great. And the knight just looks at you like, thank you. And rushes off into the fray. I, for my turn, just kind of look at both of you like like a proud parent, like, I'm so proud of you guys. You're doing so good. And then I rush up to both of you. I was like, okay, we need to join Camille and Ava and get going. And I just grab your hands. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to teleport, but I think I know where they are. So just follow me. And while we rush forward to them, because I feel like I see them in the distance, I'm slightly just. It's funny. The master technically does not have what you guys have in terms of like specific moves. It's like, if I can think it, I can do it. Literally how it writes it. I am literally a reality manipulator. So we have a moment where I'm rushing us forward to just meet up with Camille and Ava, and I just see like way more than you should be tackling are coming across at once. Like an entire like 8 or 10 of them, and I don't slow down. I just grab your hands and it's like, no, we're going through that. And you probably just look at me like, what the fuck are you thinking? And I am going to do a roll because I feel like it. Okay. Oh. I put my hand. I let go of one of you. I let go of Yang. I let go of your hand or like your arm when I was holding on. It's like, give me a second. Just keep running, and I just hold my hand out, and I produce a massive blue flamed ball of fire that just shoots out in front of the 3 of us. And it's like someone had parted like a moment of the crowd where the crowd just, there's no one in front of us. They're gone. They're just completely not there. There's not even a body. It's just like scorch marks. And I'm like, okay, guys, I think we're good. And that's when I see Camille and Ava. And now we're all back together as a group. I'm like, hi, guys. You're alive. Thank God. And Ava,
Oh my
you now
God,
see that
I
we're
didn't
all
kill
alive.
anybody. Oh shit. Well, I did kill.
You
Well, I
thought
don't
that
think
killed
it was.
us?
Yeah, I didn't know where you were. Last time
Again,
you
Mission's
Camille
next to you,
sick,
like,
so I thought
less
it was double.
And Mission looks at you like, less crying, more fighting.
I'm doing fine as I'm literally just headshotting.
Yeah, you are. You're literally. And I just look at all of you like, we need to get to the top.
Okay.
So just
Alright.
follow me. I promise I
go.
won't disappear, I
Let's run.
swear.
All right,
Something else?
fine. Let's go.
And to
Didn't kill
make it
us.
just progress more. Yeah, just to make it progress more fun. I'm gonna
Fine,
go
you're
off
fine, you're
everyone's roll
fine.
already. You all just swarm and do exactly everything you've been doing up to that point. Anyone that comes up to you, you just take them out so effortlessly, and you look cooler than you've ever looked in your entire life.
Ah! Yeah.
And it's one of those things where for Yang, you just swing that hammer like it weighs nothing because again, you also have it as fast. So
Yeah.
anytime you just swing it, everyone's just kind of looking at you like, how does that not have like a heavy weight to it? It just seems like it's so effortless. Mara, you just kind of touch people and they just
Pop,
unnervingly
Go.
golden flakes just appear out of nowhere and they start scattering in the wind too. So like the wind now has this weird
Yeah.
shimmer to it. That's just not
Absolutely.
like a flaking of ash or anything.
Yeah, I was like, it's
Ava,
not like
you-
ash. It's a shimmer. Yes.
Yeah.
Ava, you do exactly as you said. You teleport, pop, 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 pop. Maybe you have a moment where you just start laughing because you're just like, this is fucking ridiculous. And then Camille, you just every time you do it, you get a little more confident in doing it. And also you notice every time you do it too, you feel more and more warmth in your hands. And your god just every now and then just is like, good job. When you eventually get to the top, you see I rushed forward a little bit just to be like, we need to get through whatever the hell is going on at the top of this tower. And I just push open the gate. And there's really no fallen there anymore. And I'm just kind of looking around like, that's not how I wrote this. I wrote this as like there was something at the top that we would come across. I remember that. It's in the book. And that's when we have a very weird moment happen where I look up and you see a very white figure that is not a fallen in the sky. And I don't say anything. I'm kind of just standing there dumbstruck. And that's when Camille, Ava, Mara, Yang, you all come up to me and I'm just like, why are you frozen like that? And I'm just looking up and I have like a tear in my eye. That's like not like out of like joy, it's like real sadness kicks in. And that's when Ava and Camille specifically, you look up and it's very weird. You see a figure that looks exactly like Zoe.
Like you.
It's like you right now.
That's what the fuck? And I just look up and it looks exactly like her. She is bathed in white light and she just looks down at us, just scoffs like, you're not worth my time or effort, and just snaps out of existence. And then
Okay.
I just look at all of you like, that, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is she alive? Like, she looked really, is
First
that her?
off, white is
think
my
so.
color.
Please, I get
Yeah.
that. But like,
There's another.
and I start
Oh.
moving forward a little bit, and it's getting a little more unnerving that I'm not paying attention to you guys. And like, guys, I kind of want to know where she went. And I know you don't want me to leave, but I kind of I want to know where she went. No, I
This-
won't. I pinky
No.
sweared, but also
Oh.
like, what was that?
You pinky
3 days.
swore.
You pinky swore 3 days.
I just said I'm not going anywhere. I pinky swore. You have my word, but also, is she alive? And on that note, I want to end there for tonight.
Oh boy.
As Mission probably rushes up saying, good job, but notices I'm completely distraught. And all of you are like, you pinky swore.
You pinky swore.
Saying out loud. And she's like, did something bad happen? And it's just that weird sort of pan out, like, till next session.
Next time,
Inception.
on Realms Reborn.
Next time on Die.
Right.
Thanks, everyone. That was fun. Good job. I was a little nervous tonight, so I apologize because my
No, you
brain
did
kind of broke
fantastic.
halfway
You're
through the story.
wonderful.
Great.
You're all wonderful. Let us go around the table, which I can try to remember what the order is in a second because my brain broke
You
again. so
decide.
there's
You
that.
decide.
Starting
Whatever
with
you feel in your heart.
Heart of the Cards. Starting with Matt.
Hey,
Tell us who
I'm
you
Matt.
are, who you played, and where people can find you.
Yeah, I'm Matt. I played Yang this evening, and you can find me everywhere as improv and RPG. Thank you very much.
Next up, Taylor.
Oh, hi. I'm Taylor at _potato, or maybe not an underscore. Most, I don't know. I've been your Ava today. You can find me here on the high shelf all the time. This is my life lately, and I love it.
Next up, Holly.
Hey, I'm Holly. I played Mara, your dictator, tonight. And she's really cool. I'm sorry, guys. I fucking love her. I also, I don't know if this is okay. Can I promo what I'm doing the rest of this month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Tell me what's up.
Thank you. So, yesterday I played in Wild Sea, which means every other weekend. I play Friday and Saturday on High Shelf. On Friday I play Wild Sea, and then the Saturday I play Die. Please join us in 2 weeks for Friday and Saturday. I would love it. However, I am also playing next Friday. I will be here for Wild Sea for our impromptu Leviathan hunt. Ruby's going to show up. She can't do much, but she's going to participate somehow.
You could
And then-
literally blow it up.
I mean,
You
I
could
can.
do so
I
much.
can. Taylor talks about playing a little guy. Ruby's my little guy. She's tiny, but she likes to blow things up. And then that Saturday, I'm playing on Dungeons and Dog Tags for a spooky one shot. And then I'm trying to think. And then I'm playing on the 30th, obviously, besides my every other weekend. On the 30th, I'm playing the Never Going Home. I'm so pumped. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And it is also, I just want to tell everyone, it will be Kelly's first time GMing, and I want everybody to show up and support her because I know it's going to be so good. And so I think that is actually it for the month of October for me, are those the every other weekend games, and then those 2 extra games, and that's it. But yeah, that's it for me. OMG Holly D on the internet. Come find me. Let's be friends. On Blue Sky, because I'm getting away from Twitter. It will never be the other name.
Hard agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. And Beck.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm back. I've been playing Camille, conduit for the powers of gods of death and all that fun stuff. All the good stuff. You can find me around at Zeit Poltergeist here on Twitch, on various other social media, mostly Instagram these days. I play TTRPGs here on my channel, on other people's channels. Got some fun stuff coming up as well. So yeah, I'll be around. And thanks for hanging out, everyone. It was fun.
And hello, everyone. I'm Nate. I'm a photographer, designer, writer. Kind of just try to do too many things at once because ADHD is real. If you want to find me on socials, Indie Nate on Instagram is primarily it for now. Kind of just taking it easy, just sticking with one at the moment. In terms of upcoming stuff, on October 23rd, I will be on Lost Caravan for a one-shot of Old Gods of Appalachia RPG. That is one hell of a book that I'm still trying to wrap my head around because I'm very confused with character creation, but I'm intrigued by it. It'll be fun.
Ooh, I just did mine.
And then outside of that, yeah, I might have asked for help on this. It's literally throwing me off. It's more than anything. Hoop, don't worry, it'll get done. And outside of that, you can find me every other Saturday running this wonderful game with these wonderful, amazing people who you guys, that was a lot of fun tonight. I look forward to knowing that all of you will try to figure out what me and Mara had as a personal session for a second, because I know you're going to do that. There's a VOD. I can't
It's the
stop
first
it
thing
now.
I'm gonna do.
And I look forward to 2 weeks from now as, like we ended, there is some white angelic figure that looks exactly like Phoenix's real life partner, Zoe. and you're not sure what's going on, but there's clearly in my mind, I don't want to just sit there and not accept that happened. I want to know what the hell's going on. I'm just as
It's
confused.
giving Inception.
Yes.
Indeed. And with that, is there anyone we want to raid?
Oh my god, I forgot I have to do that. That's my job.
That's cool. That's why you have me. I bring this stuff up for you. Good.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
before we raid, then I will promote. Taylor and I are in the finale of Orbital Blues on the Lost Caravan on
Oh, I forgot it's our
Tuesday.
Nice.
It's our finale. Please show up because let me just tell you, Taylor's character and my character are in love. Okay,
We gotta get some smooches before this game's over.
we gotta get the
We've been
smooches.
tiptoeing around it. It's gotta happen.
Oh, man.
And I gotta get Turk to show his freakish 2 arms. I don't care what anybody says. He has 2 arms.
These forearms.
2 extra arms.
Two
That's what I
extra
meant.
arms.
That's what I meant.
That's what you meant.
Please, on Tuesday, yes, please show the fuck up. It's at what is it? 7. Oop, come on, Holly, you can do it. 7 Central, which means 8 Eastern. There we go.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. We going late tonight. Most everybody's
Insomnia
offline.
night.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we're
in
gonna
that
go
case,
see Insomnia
everyone-
Night RPG.
Yay, there we go.
Yeah.